miracle from all that stressed. We trust the guardians, trust the guides, trust the open and what's inside. When the moon is high, it's time to fly. Open your mind, let it all unwind. Let's get disengaged, time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. When you feel like you've had enough and the week was busy and tough, you need a break, you need some fun, you need to take time from the run. We'll blow your mind, we're just in time. Seek and ye shall find. Time to unwind, let's get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. Aliens, ghosts, spirits and shadows, spirituality, ultra reality, the Bible, the pagans, all the conspiracies, tarot, astrology, and alternate history. Open your heart to other possibilities and get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged, 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 disenraged.
Hello, hello. Hey, Jennifer, what's going on?
R.I.P. Ozzy.
Yeah.
Oh,
How is it
my
only
heart.
Tuesday? How is it only
Well-
Tuesday? Why is it
Well-
only Tuesday?
Dick Van Dyke turned 100 years old like yesterday or the day before, and then the fucking Prince of Rock dies.
I know. But you know
Oh.
what? Listen, he got his final show in, and that final show was just like insane.
Oh my God. The timing of that is tripping me.
He was
It's
ready.
tripping me.
He was ready. That was what he wanted. He was ready.
Yeah, I think he was actually literally saying goodbye. And I think when he's saying "Mama, I'm coming home," I don't know if anybody hasn't seen his performance of that.
It's so good.
Get your fucking Kleenex. Oh my God. I get goosebumps just freaking thinking about it. It was so beautiful. I can't. And Sharon, oh my God. See, and I don't normally get like verklempt or upset or cry when celebrities die, but I did cry when David Bowie died, Val Kilmer, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yep. Rented little Nikki for my Ozzy Osbourne memorial. That's a
You
nice
know what?
dedication.
Naruto, I was thinking of doing that movie for movie night for on the Ozzy memorial, and then playing Ozzy music to get us pumped. But I know a lot of people don't really like that movie. I think it's great. I think it's hysterical. But
I would endorse it. I think we should pay tribute to Ozzy. We paid tribute to Val Kilmer and watched The Doors when he died. So
that's true. Yeah, I would love to do that. Maybe first weekend of August we can do that.
Yeah.
Because we've got to round out July. I've already got this. Oh shit! I forgot to put the poll up. I'll do that when we're done then. But yeah, oh, R.I.P. man. Fuck.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I don't even feel bad. He lived a fucking insane life. Like, what a legend. He went out on top, and like one of the most epic shows that will go down in history is one of the top most iconic shows of like all time forever.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really ask for any more. And like after that, it's like, you know, I could see like, you know, he's probably, you know, been in the process of saying goodbye to his family for a while. He was ready to go. He was like, okay, I've done what I needed to do. I'm out.
He's only 76 though. I mean, it creeps me out because like my dad's he's going to turn 76 this year.
Oh man. I definitely had a little Well, but I mean, Ozzy obviously kind of abused himself rather epically, I think we can say. But like,
deservedly so. Yeah, he totally needed it. That's what you do. You party.
yeah,
Yes, throw the
Janice,
horns.
thank
Woo!
you. Yeah. So I definitely had like a little bit of like a midlife crisis today thinking about that. I was like, how many years is that? Like, and of course I'm 29, but maybe I'm not. And I was like, how many years is that? And really yeah, if I look back on my life now, am I really happy with what I've done with my life? And I thought I had my first midlife crisis when I became a streamer on the internet after having a successful organizational psychology practice. And I retired from that to stream on the internet. And apparently now I'm having a second midlife crisis of some sort.
Dude, well, what's creeping me out is like Gen X is we're turning into the elders of the community now, and it's flipping me. We're not there yet. Some of us are. The first ones are. It's starting to happen, and all of the big people that grew up are, especially even Gen Zers, know a lot of pop culture from Gen X. Like Gen X set the fucking stage. Maybe the boomers started it in the 60s and 70s. I'll give them that. They set it up. We knocked it down. I'm saying that, you know, I'm sure boomers, anybody listening is like, oh, you fucking kid. I mean, but I think that now all these people are starting to pass away, man. We lost Van Halen, you know, we've lost like so many people, and it's, and actors that are going with the guy that played the son on freaking Cosby Show just drowned off of the coast of Florida. I mean, shit is, it's like it's dismantling and fading of our generation, and then we're starting to witness the beginning of it. It's tripping me out, dude.
Man, getting old is a trip, man. It really is. It's
older,
like when you first start hearing like
not old, older.
Well, obviously, when you first start hearing like music that you listened to growing up, and they're calling it oldies, I'm like, fuck you, fuck you. Furthermore, 90s was the last good decade of music. There's been no good music that's come out after the 90s, and so you know, I don't appreciate it being called oldies. Okay.
I think there's a lot of great music that has come out in the last 25 years. However, the 90s, I think, was the last time we had a distinct era sound. If you listen to anything from 2000 to today, you do not know what era it was from. Like, you hear something from the 70s, you know it's the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know it's those decades. But anything from 2000, fashion hasn't changed. Color popularity hasn't changed, like in like design and things. Like, I watch trends. I like art. I'm into art and artistic stuff. I'm a creative, but nothing has changed since about 2000. And it's really interesting. And the movies are all getting recycled. There's no new ideas.
No, I completely agree with you. Yeah, like the movies, all they do is remake anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, Jennifer, I have a surprise for you, and you kind of got a preview of that surprise yesterday. And the surprise is that yesterday I was forced against my will. Not really. It was actually completely within my will. I had to cast a spell. I had to cast a spell on a boy, and it just had to be done. It had to be done because he's you know, kind of making posturing on the internet like he's going to cause trouble. And you know, I don't mind that he causes trouble. I just don't want him to do anything that's like actually destructive. Like, I don't mind if he teases me and like and kind of messes around and they make fun of me and whatever. They Photoshop it. I don't care about any of that. That's been done to me a million times. I just don't want him to actually cause trouble in my life and actually be destructive around things that I care about. And as long as, like, you know, we can contain the energy, I think it's okay. So to bring people up to speed, I have I don't know. Is he my internet nemesis now? I don't know. I don't know if I really care. I don't even want to be fighting with him, so I don't even know. What do you think?
I have feelings about the two of you.
Oh yeah? What are your feelings about the two of us?
Okay. Don't take this the wrong way, and I don't mean this literally, but I'm trying to give you a feeling of the energy.
Oh no.
It's like a twin flame energy. When it's
no,
bad.
No.
That's what it feels
like.
like.
No, it is
I'm not saying
no.
I'm not. Oh, that's why I'm trying to preface it. I'm not saying use your twin flame. I'm not saying that. But it is that kind of energy. Like, you guys are so like and handle things in such similar ways. By the way, that is a fantastic screenshot.
I know, right?
That's the best. That's so the best. But yeah, it's like you guys are so similar. He's an Aries too, right?
No, he is a Pisces sun.
He's the Pisces.
Wait, he's one of several. What? He used to have Pisces number 3 status. I wasn't even worried about him, and now he has skyrocketed to annoying Pisces number 1. He's far blown out the other two, Anyway, no, he is a Pisces sun with a Taurus moon, and I think he has an Aries rising. But you know what the funny thing is about me and him, and I think you'll appreciate this. Both of us have Mars in Aries, and both of us have Venus in Aries.
Okay, yeah. So I get the okay. So you love it, you hate it is all in the same.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Because so what I was trying to say is I don't think he's your twin flame, but he has that energy where you're so similar. You're just you're on the opposite ends of everything. Your bookends in a way. You're going to be over here. He's going to be over there because you handle things the same way. You remind each other too much of each other, and you just can't.
I think we're mirrors for each other. I think we're mirrors.
That's the word. There you go. Yeah.
And I think he knows that too, which is why he is doing this little exercise. But like, okay, so so for people who don't know, this is big tech. We may or may not be hearing more from him. I don't really know. I've actually been surprised at how quiet he's been the last couple of days, given the declarations of the other night, where so essentially big tech is someone that I used to be friends with, and I just wanted everything to be peaceful, and I tried to just and maybe I antagonized him a little bit. I might have I definitely didn't do anything to it. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I did nothing wrong. Just because I accurately analyzed his psychology, which he did not like at all, because I had information he didn't want me to have. Just because I was smart and intuitive on the internet does not mean I did something wrong. And I just wanted I just wanted things to be peaceful. And so the other night,
which is why you poke the bear. That's exactly. As soon as you want to have something calm, you definitely need to start problems and aggravate the situation by poking.
No, it was him who aggravated the situation by blocking me on Twitter. It was him that aggravated, and then it could have just been resolved peacefully, and everyone could have gone their separate ways. But then he apparently feels like I forced him to unblock me on Twitter against his will, and he doesn't like taking orders from women. And so now he has declared that I have a demon inside me named Algoth, and that it is his job to make me angry on the internet, to feed the demon that's inside of me, to keep the demon, because my anger and my insanity feeds the demon. And so he has declared it to be his job to protect the world from Algoth, that he has to make me mad on the internet.
You guys are starting to sound more and more like Israel and Palestine, the two of you.
He can be Israel. I'm going to be Palestine. He can be Israel. He's going to love that too. I'll tell you what. That's going to be like his favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
He wants to be the big gun in the situation. He can be Israel.
Wave your dick around. Go on, buddy. Nice pink sunglasses, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So he has decided he wants to be a pain in the ass on the internet, and I actually think this is kind of hilarious, and in just like in so many different ways. And I think it actually could be rather interesting to watch how all this plays out. But I don't actually want him to do damage. I just want him to like flail about and cause, just be like an annoying little thing in the ear or whatever. But I don't actually want him to hurt anything that I care about. And so I crafted a spell, and this is the first spell that I've crafted in a while. And given that I don't consider myself to be a witch, but you are a witch, I wanted you to just evaluate my spell and tell me if I did anything wrong so that I can fix it if I need to.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer so I can read this on my screen. Okay, so may I read it out loud?
Yes.
Okay. These are not my words. I freeze and bind the energy of big tech name. I bind the vision of you that harms, manipulates our wounds. Sorry, it's a little skewed in so it's hard for me to read.
I can read it. I
want to because I want to take it in.
Okay.
I freeze your cruelty, your deceit, I can't make out that last word. Chaos. I reflect your poison back to you. That's good. You may not reach me with malice. You may not harm me, mock me, or twist truth around me. That's a little tricky. I feel like your phrasing for energy purposes is a bit more complex than it needs to be.
Okay.
However, being specific is always good. Also, your guides and those that help you with spell work understand your intentions. But I do not block joy. Never say what you're not going to do. Always say what you're going to do. I welcome joy.
Okay.
Okay. Truth or play. If your heart is
Sincere.
Your handwriting's not bad. I'm just having issues. Your heart is sincere. The spell does not touch you. That's nice. I love the disclaimer. And honestly, when you're not sure what's going on, it's always nice to have that disclaimer.
I don't want to block it out entirely. I just want things to be nice. So I didn't want to like put a giant cement wall up. I just wanted to contain it. So
well, yeah. So okay, let me finish. This binding is select. Only the shadow is frozen. So the shadow is going to be the harmful part of himself. But it's also the part that loves him so much that it helps him give in to his worst intentions. If you show up in peace, you are free. I do love that you are being conditional here. I think that's really effective. The spell is irrevocable unless I release it. No one may break it but me. As it will, so it be. So it is. So I want you to give a time limit on this.
Why?
Because you cannot hold on to this energy yourself for too long or it's going to start hurting you.
Okay. How long do you recommend?
I mean, let's see. Give it a season. Give it 3 to 6 months. Test it out in
That's
3
fine.
months. See how you feel. If you're like, no, I'm not done, give it 3 more. But I wouldn't let it sit more than 6 months.
I don't think it's going to need to sit for that long, to be honest. I think that this is just like I honestly really hope, and I kind of would like your opinion on this, basically based on you being intuitive. Like, I kind of really hope that he is just doing what I think he's doing and just playing around and being a little performative about it.
I definitely think that's it. I think this is more playful than harmful. I don't really honestly think he wishes you ill. However, I think it is not especially when you're taking care of your spiritual health, which is what spell work does and can do. That's not the full purpose of it, but it can be a purpose for it. And when you are trying to protect yourself and take care of your spiritual health, because you are trying to go forward, become stronger, and not let anybody pull the rug out from under you, like has happened in the past.
Yeah.
I feel like it's energetically responsible to guard yourself. As far as he goes, he's probably going to take this and run with it and just like have a grand old time. I really feel like it's going to be a little bit of a playful and frenemies kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, I don't think I don't think he's evil. I don't think there's bad in him. I don't sense darkness. There are people I have sensed darkness and I don't sense it in him. He just has a different way of doing things. His problem is he's too arrogant and egotistical to get out of his own way.
It's true. He doesn't want to be vulnerable, and he's a control freak, and he doesn't want to let go of control because he feels like if he lets go of control, his whole life's going to fall apart and yada, 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 yada.
And that's fine. If that's his jam, that's his jam. I don't appreciate the dragging through the mud thing. He's going to need to learn how to manage that if he wants to have fruitful partnerships with other professionals.
Yeah,
I've never seen his show. I don't even know what he does.
Oh, he just talks on the internet and watches videos on the internet and is kind of like he's like one of the people that are in the reason I was upset that he blocked me is because like he does these anti-Abrahamic religion spaces that I find really interesting. And so like anytime he becomes a co-host on the space, I was getting kicked out. And like I was just he's
like being petty. You know what? That's unnecessary.
It was just annoying, and it was kind of like my thought process was like, you asshole, you have never given a flying fuck about my feelings about the entire like situation with drama on the internet, but I'm supposed to care like about like your feelings about the situation. No, I want you to unblock me and I want you to just be like a normal person. And so I felt like I didn't owe him anything and I just wanted to antagonize him until he unblocked me because that was really annoying.
I have to say the way he turned your speech there into a song.
Did you hear the song?
That was delightful. I watched that whole show.
I
watched it I was there for part of it. And then I think I went back and watched some of it. But yeah, that was magic. Yeah.
It was delightful, and I fucking hate that I find it delightful because I didn't want to like it. And I'm like, oh, fuck. This is the ultimate game right here. This is like if I was just mad at it and he had just done something awful and horrible and like evil, like that would be exactly what I would expect. But I'm like, no, I hate it that I fucking like it.
You guys are like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, I guess
so. Go after each other, but you'd never actually hurt each other, I don't think. I think you're very equal in your intentions and vibes.
Oh yeah, I asked you to get tarot cards. Oh, we're gonna do tarot cards. Okay, so here's the question. Listen, it's like the old show all over again, except
oh my god,
Except
Yeah,
you're
but I
way,
do
except
things
you're
a
way
lot
nicer to me.
differently. I do things a lot differently than
Okay.
Mr. Joshua did.
I don't think you've ever actually. Have you ever done tarot cards for me?
I did once. We were really fucking drunk, and I think it was
Oh.
after an election.
That's why I don't. Oh yeah, that was on the election stream. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I want to know what can I expect from him, like in terms of like his behavior towards me for like the near term future or whatever.
All right.
What should I prepare for? Need to mentally get myself in order for this, because now I can't get mad. No matter what he does, I can't get mad. This is a battle of wills.
Wow. Okay, so emotional jading, feeling emotionally jaded is coming through. There's going to be some conflict going back and forth. There's going to be a lot of jabbing. There's going to be a lot of there. It might actually get a little nasty where you guys are going to actually start to hurt each other and really go for the throat. And I feel like that's going to come to a head. And there will be a catalyst for you guys to finally. There's something is going to hit it, and both of you are going to go, okay, enough. This is getting out of hand. This is getting mean. We need to sit down and work together. Not together, but we're gonna call a truce. But I think someone else is going to require both of your attention. And it's going to force you to work together.
We're going to have a common enemy of some sort
so
that's going to cause some nonsense to stop.
Yeah, something like that. I've got I do inverted cup king. What is this? This guy, he's the Knight of Cups, so that's my emotional turmoil. I do intuitive reading, guys. So if you're like, she said that card's wrong, it probably is wrong. I do things personally and intuitively. I don't do them by the actual.
Jennifer's plugged into the North Node. Leave her alone.
I have a native discs inverted.
Okay.
So to me, that is the breaking point of the problem. So water is emotional, cups is emotional. The problem is, so I look at say pentacles and discs as it's not just financial, but it's also hearth and home. Things that projects you have, things that you're working on, especially with this deck, it's very specific with that. So that is when things kind of like they're going to come to a head, because this is sort of like helpful. We're helping each other. We're actually not doing anybody any good, especially each other. But I think then this was the one card that came up, not inverted. This is the 9 of discs.
Oh, okay.
So this one came up where, you know what, let's see what we can do together. We're probably stronger together and make something more beautiful than by hurting each other. I don't see this happening for a while. But I do see it happening.
The other stuff. I don't want to do the other stuff though. I don't want it to get nasty. I really don't want it to get nasty. I really don't.
Your enemy. This is a page of coins or page of this.
I don't want it to get like okay, so if it gets nasty, it's going to be on him. I'm not going to do it.
I think it's not going to get as bad as things got with Carrie. It's not going to get that. He's not a mean, evil, vindictive, nasty person. I don't get that from him at all. I feel like this little tete-a-tete is about as far as it's going to go. Maybe there's going to be a couple more hurtful jabs where you're like, ow, that really fucking hurt, guy. And he might go, gee, I didn't mean to do that. He may not apologize.
No, he's never going to apologize.
But he might retract.
Wow.
So I'm getting that energy where it's going to come to a head. But I don't think you guys are going to work together as in you're going to start a podcast together and all this other shit. No. But I think you're going to stop attacking each other and have a truce. And there will be other things that are bigger and badder than what's going on between the two of you that you are going to focus on, whoever this is. Inverted page of coins. I don't know who that is. It's too far away. And I actually don't think that that's needed in the reading right now.
Well, this doesn't make me happy, Jennifer. I don't want to be dealing with this bullshit on the internet. What the fuck?
Well, if you want to let it go, you certainly can.
Well, yeah. Playful fighting is one thing. Mean fighting is another thing entirely.
I think that's what'll be the thing that snaps you both out of it. You could be the one who does it too. You might say the mean thing, and he might be like, "Ow, dude." And then whoever does it, you're going to realize, okay, we've gone too far. This is enough.
Well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how good of a psychic you are now, Jennifer. Okay, well, that's
I'm always
depressing.
right, Karlyn. Always.
It's fucking depressing. Just want to be
It's
normal
all
on
right.
the internet. Can't be normal on the internet.
This
Can't
is
just-
the normal
we
internet.
can't have nice
Karlyn.
things.
The
Bullshit.
Karlyn internet. The internet is always this ridiculous. This is welcome to it. You should know that by now.
Well, at least I have my spell in place, and so he's not going to be able to do any real damage. And my plan, honestly, I'm not going to get angry. I'm really like, I know the card. You think the cards say whatever they do? I don't think I'm committed to this path. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's not going to get me.
My disclaimer that I always say, which I totally forgot to say before we started this is only a reading of the current vibe. Things can always change. And if you like what you hear, then keep your course. If you don't like it, change your course.
I don't like it at all.
Then change something. And then it won't come true and I'll be totally wrong. And that's fine with me.
I'm not doing anything. What can I change? I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
I'm waiting for him to do something and he's not doing something.
You guys are doing it right now and it's adorable.
Whatever. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you for the psychic advice, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
I'm trying to wrap my cards and I'm forgetting how I used to do it. I have something for you too, Karlyn.
Oh yeah, you have a surprise?
I do. I have a Prezi.
Uh-oh.
Let me see if I can get these damn cards.
Uh-oh.
My poor cards. All right, sorry. Love you guys. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you, cards.
Okay, I have to share my screen.
Okay.
Did you know that James Lindsay was on Stossel?
I did know that. Yeah, I did.
Did you see any of it?
I heard bits and pieces here and there, but I'm not gonna do. I watched too much James Lindsay already. Jennifer, you're gone. Where'd you go?
I hit the wrong button.
Oh.
Okay.
I
still don't know how to make this damn thing work. Hang on.
You have to hit the plus sign and make sure you're in the Chrome tab, not the window, the tab. Okay. You're playing. Are you playing audio?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to do the tab video. And make sure the box is checked.
Yes. Okay. Video file, image, share screen. Check the box. Audio. Follow these steps to share your video with an audio. Oh, Lord. It's taking me to steps. Why am I going to steps?
Do you have it in Chrome?
Yeah.
Just share the Chrome tab. Share screen. Share Chrome tab. There you go.
Are we there? Okay.
Yes.
You know, all right. So if you want, I can start this from the beginning. But honestly, the thing I want you to see is around the 2-minute mark.
Okay. Let's watch that.
All right. And I think there's somebody in here you might recognize. I actually was like, oh, my God, is that?
Oh,
and then I'm like,
no.
I got to ask Karlyn if this is who I think it is. Because and it
no.
has nothing to do with anything other than I think I spotted Waldo. I found Waldo.
Oh,
okay.
no.
It's like I'm making that up, but I'm not. And so Peter Boghossian and I decided, why don't we hoax them if they'll publish this? And that had $500,000 of National Science Foundation money behind it. By the way, that's taxpayer money for science. If they'll publish that, what else will they publish? So we decided to write one as a trial balloon. We called it the conceptual penis as a social construct. We said penises are socially constructed. They cause all of our problems, especially climate change. And that led us to develop the project to expose by publishing as many papers as we could over the course of 2017 and 18, which turned out we submitted 20, 7 remained under peer review, 6 had been rejected, but 7 had been accepted for publication. One of them won an award for excellence in scholarship. Several of them made it out into the wild.
Excellent nonsense.
Okay.
Excellent
Nonsense.
scholarship.
Yeah, that paper was about analyzing rape culture by examining dog sex at the dog park.
I have now closely considered the revisions of your manuscript, Dog Park, and
Helen.
And will recommend.
That's Helen. Yeah, that's Helen. I can't hear you, Jennifer. I can't hear you, Jennifer. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Like that's Helen. Okay, so this is now we have an even better visualization of Miss Madam who has been bothering you.
Yes. Yeah. Real.
Recommend its publication.
Real.
Who's been calling you fat?
The other one, not Helen. Although Helen was a pain in the ass too.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. That's all I had. I'm just gonna close this. I watched about half of it, and then after I stopped enjoying throwing up in my mouth, I had to stop. So
I couldn't watch it. I saw clips of it. I even saw clips of it earlier where like he was talking about, oh, James Lindsay, this hero against the woke right. It's just like,
Oh no,
it's
you need to see the comment section. They were roasting him in the comments.
Oh, I can't though. I can't interact with James anymore. I feel like I did my time. I'm done. I cannot give that guy another ounce of my energy because it's just like, it's just so absurd. It's just so absurd. And I knew it before everyone else did. And it sucks. Oh, can I ask you, can I ask you another question? Hang on. Because, hang on.
For the cards?
No, it doesn't need to be for the cards. You can just intuit. So this is one of Big Tech's audience members.
Oh,
and I feel
Marty.
like, yeah. So I feel like they're like sending people, like, is he going to send people over here to cause problems on the stream? Like, is that something I should anticipate? Or is Marty just like, being a dick?
Well, I think he said he likes me, so I like him
Yeah,
already.
okay. You're on Team Jennifer.
I think what here's how I'm going to answer that. He would only do that in the way that you would do that, and probably have done that. And
I have never sent my audience to attack him. No,
not him,
no.
but other people. I don't mean him, but you've done it to other people, and I feel like he's just like, you guys do things in similar ways, and it's hilarious. And so,
I mean, I've never sent audience members to troll people. I've sent audience members to ask questions that were inconvenient and that James didn't like.
Maybe.
Okay, Marty, you can stay. Fine.
The Twitter thing, sometimes you're like, go get him on Twitter and stuff. But everybody does that. I don't think that's significant to you or him. And it's totally fine if now that person, Marty, can like you and him. You can like two people who don't like each other. It's totally
I don't like Marty though, because Marty comes over here and he tries to cause problems. He lies about what's going on, and no one should believe anything that Marty says. Oh, he's really sick. Oh, Big Tech is really sick. I wonder what could have caused him to become sick. Perhaps spending 9 hours on a stream summoning a demon.
The music in the background probably damaged his aura. I'm not kidding, because that means I was like, you're actually listening to like demonic chanting, buddy. Yeah, that's not a positive energy vibe. So
he spent hours and hours and hours talking to a demon and channeling a demon and summoning a demon and doing the demon's bidding to feed the demon, and then he gets sick for 2 days and can't stream. Wonder what happened?
Yeah, I don't think he realized what he was doing at all. I doubt he is a believer, and now he's ill. And
no, he is actually. He is.
Is he? I don't really know him.
Yeah,
he didn't seem like
all of it.
Okay, he understands it, but does he believe it? He doesn't strike me as someone who quite gets like, oh, sure, I understand Judaism, but I don't believe in Judaism. I don't believe in Christianity, even though I understand Christianity. I am a pagan. I am a witch. I am an omniist, really. So,
well, we don't have to give him any more energy. I just thought that was funny that he literally spent 9 hours summoning a demon against me, and now he's sick.
Is that 9 hours long? Really?
9 hour fucking long stream.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, bless his heart with love. Yep, bless his heart. Okay, well, it's my night on the DISENRAGE, and actually,
do we have a show too?
We have a fucking show. It's only chatting for like half an hour. That was actually pretty tame, I think.
That's not normal, yeah.
So I wanted to continue from last week's show, because last week we were talking about animism, which is the first religion, and how all religions evolved out of animism. And basically, so Jennifer found a video that had this cool chart, and I kind of became enamored of this chart. Like, this chart is actually really badass. I don't know exactly how accurate it is. Like, there's some things on this chart I'm like, I don't know about that. But it starts with like animism down at the bottom as the first religion, and then it shows you how did all of the other belief systems kind of sprout up and evolve out of that. And I just spent some time looking at this chart. I'm going to put it in the chat so people can look at it if they want. It's just interesting information, and I kind of wanted to do a whole video just about this chart and getting a walkthrough of this chart. And so and there's not really a good video just about the chart, but I did find an interview with the guy who made the chart, and apparently there has been several rounds of updates to the chart since that original chart was made. And so I thought we could just watch this interview and talk about the great tree of religion. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
I love how everything is related. Everything comes from something else, so there's always roots.
Yep. And it's just interesting to understand. I don't know. It's not an especially spiritual topic. It's just interesting to understand, I guess.
Well, spirituality, you have to also have some measure of intellectualism and analytical, scientific, all this stuff needs to be part of it so that you can have the whole picture of what you're doing. I guess that's why I don't like blind faith.
Yeah. No, I guess I just like that I feel self-righteous that like my beliefs are older than everyone else's. That's just maybe mine. Again, I'm very Jetafyre's got this very Capricorn like answer, and I'm just like, I'm very simple. I just want to be number one. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I want in the world.
I just want to be smart.
I'm very happy. I just want to be the first, and no one else can be in front of me. All right, so we're gonna watch this video and we're gonna chat about it. And if you guys have anything to say, let me put the chat on the screen so that you guys can see your chats on the screen. And we're just gonna kick back and relax and watch this here video. Ooh.
Hello and welcome to the first Craigenfold live stream. I was going to be joined by Simon, but he's wandered off.
Craigenfold, I know him. He's great.
Oh, good.
Welcome. So, he is back. I'll introduce him in a second.
I like that we get to listen to
thanks for joining.
accents for a couple hours.
I'm very familiar
Oh,
with
he's
what
so
I
great.
do. Teach mythology, and if you want to follow the work I do have a Patreon. There is a free tier if you want to catch up on my work on a weekly basis. I have a blog make public. If you want to support me, then sign on to that. Today we're doing a live stream because my good friend Simon Davies has produced a poster or a diagram of which is a tree of religion. It's just about to come out, and I wanted Simon to come along for us to go all through it, to talk about it, and to ask general questions about religion, myth, and tea. So yes, let's welcome young Simon.
Hello.
Simon.
Hi, John.
Hi. So introduce yourself to...
I need to make an infographic like this about all the organizations on the left.
I agree.
This is the project that's currently occupying my mind. Is I want to build out like a massive map of like the organizations on the left and how they interact with each other. But then I also want to have like a map of America that shows where all these things are, because they're all in, locations and stuff like that. And I think that might be slightly terrifying. It'd basically be like a sex offender registry. Like, how close are you living to a communist? Like, and in some cases it may be overlapping. I mean, who really knows?
Oh my god.
But
that sounds
anyway,
great. I love
I
it.
just think that chart is cool.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone here, please.
I'm Simon, and I am a researcher, mythographer, and I've dabbled in filmmaking. And I'm currently
I like that
invested
peaceful
in
music in the background.
my platform called Mythopia, which is a sort of utopia for myths and spirituality and religions and stories and archetypes and so on. So I've been working for the last year and I say a year and a half actually on this tree of religion, just digging in, doing lots of research, talking to scholars like yourself, using AI, treated it very much like a piece of art, which we can talk about shortly. So yeah, very, very hands-on, like sculpting this tree branch by branch, leaf by leaf, opening and unfurling each little bud and recognizing the religion and committing it to the tree. So it's been a very busy year and a half.
All right. So for people who don't know what we're talking about, I guess what we should do is let people have a glimpse at this tree of religion, so they can get a sort of an idea of the concept. So you have a poster behind you.
Yes, I do.
But
yeah, right behind me.
But here we go. So
that is
I think you've got
overwhelming.
control of this.
It's
So
crazy.
if you comments have any
Look
questions
how many
about this,
different
please
viewpoints.
ask away.
I know.
So my first question is, why spend a year and a half of your life making this when it looks fantastic? But
Right.
What was the plan?
Well, I worked on this tree of religion about 10 years ago, maybe even further. It might be as much as 12 years old now. And it was just
Wow.
something I was using for research on some short stories I was writing. And I just wanted to get my head around the timeline of when myths and religions were sort of at play. Because I had this really cool idea of getting the Norse gods, the Egyptian gods, and the Celtic gods all interacting with each other. So I just needed a timeline. So I needed some kind of tool to draw upon. And I created the first tree, which was very, very inaccurate.
Isn't it funny how like you just start a small little project for something else, and like all of a sudden that project begins to encompass your entire life.
Yeah, it turns into the all thing, and you just
Yeah.
because one rabbit hole leads to another rabbit hole, and just keeps going and going. Nothing is simple, and then yes, it overwhelms you, and now you are the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite captivating, because when I put it on the internet back in 2012, I think it just went viral. It just went everywhere, and loads of people looked at it, commented on it, loved it, hated it. But it was the one post I did which really got traction. So I recognized straight away that people were interested. Personally, I think, like yourself, I'm more interested in the myths that are linked to the religions. So that's what my focus is on. But lots of people are interested in different religions, saying, oh, could you put my religion in? I've got spiritualism in South America. And other people are saying, oh, you've missed this religion, and so on. So I did version 2, I think it's 2014. And was much more improved. Lots of people enjoyed it, and I put it out online for free for everybody to look at, and it was also sold online. But people kept saying to me, "You've still got mistakes. You're still missing loads of religions. Can you please put this in, and can you please change these dates and so on?" So I've had it for years. I've been working on other projects like archetypes and storytelling, but I've had so many people saying, "Please update it." So eventually, I thought, right, okay, the time has come. I'm going to really go for it this time. So I'm not going to make sure. I was just talking to you earlier. I was going to make sure I didn't miss out one religion. I think somebody's already said, have you got this one in there? Which I might not. But it's pretty much got the majority of the world. Well, I'd say all the world's main religions, and a huge scatter of lesser known religions.
I was just wondering where they were.
Medium known religions, and some.
I have what's going on is I have my knitting sitting on top of my keyboard, and the knitting is getting rather heavy, and I think it just kept hitting the space bar or something.
That's a really pretty teal you have.
I know. Well, I've been saving this yarn. I actually got this yarn at Vogue Knitting Live in New York City right before the pandemic shut everything down.
Oh, wow.
And it was a special batch of this specific yarn that I had never seen it this bright and kind of like iridescent, and they only had 2 skeins of it, and I bought it and I kind of put it away, and now I've decided I'm using it on this project to like feature it. It's got a cool like spiral thing, and
that's stunning.
Anyway,
that people may never ever have heard of.
Okay, so how many religions are we looking at on that tree?
Well over 500. I think it was 527. I'll have to check again. But yeah, well over 500.
Can we sort of have a bit of a dive into it then, because people can really see what this is about? Because
yes,
you should be able to zoom into that. Should you?
I can absolutely zoom in. So we've got. Let's start at the top. Let's look at the regions. So.
Okay.
We've
got
many 12 main regions that
this is
tree looks at, and it's all color coordinated. So depending on what part of the tree you're looking at and the color, you'll know where you are. So Africa is brown, Europe is green, the Middle East is yellow, Eurasia and the Siberia is sort of an orange color. South Asia is a dark, rich orange. We've got Central Asia. So again, all color coordinated for people to kind of help them navigate where they're going. So that's the top part.
So the colors
then
that are
right down
combined
to the bottom,
are
we have just here.
Go ahead, sorry.
So it looks like the colors, when he has like multiple colors on a branch, it kind of shows maybe the root of where it came from.
Yeah, so it's like they're all blending together.
Yeah.
He put so much thought into this. Like, people don't like, information design is so hard. Like, to do it well and to do it artfully, it's like they people write entire books about this. I once went to like a 3-day seminar just on information design on how to make beautiful charts.
Wow. To not get lost in the sauce and keep it clear and organized, I think is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go right down to the bottom, we have just here a date, so you can see how far back in time these religions go. When I did version 1, it went back 100,000 years, and it's the same with version 2.
Yeah,
then I did as I started working on this.
That's who I went to the presentation with. It was Edward Tufte. I still have the books; are really nice, actually.
Right on.
This tree, which you and me were talking about it at the time, it went back 150,000 years, and then you told me that this Netflix documentary had come out about the Star Cave with Homer Naladi.
Yes.
And it pushed the timeline back to 430,000 years. So I had to resize the whole tree to fit in all of these much older religions that weren't in there before. So the timeline starts 430,000 BC. And then obviously goes all the way up until modern time. I tried to bracket it off so that you get a sense of the old Stone Age, the Middle Stone Age, the New Stone Age, the Mesolithic, the Neolithic, and so on. So it kind of explores religions in time periods as well. So if you spend enough time looking at it, you start to realize that you can look at all the agricultural traditions. If you look in one area and just move across, you get a nice scatter shot of all of those Neolithic religions, for instance, round about here. Was that Neolithic? Oh, and here we are, loads of Neolithic ones here. All the circles are black because it's all archaeological. So any dark circles represent archaeological data of a religion that we don't know much about other than what's left, the remains in temples and stone circles and statues that are found and buried under houses and things like that, and burial sites. So,
okay, so what was the, well, where do you start with a tree like this? How do you start this? What was your first entry?
Well, when we were discussing it, you told me, and it was very good advice, you said database the whole thing. And then using the data, you can use software to construct a tree, and then you can use that as a jumping board. But I instinctively, I just didn't want to work with it like that. I wanted to, a bit like Lego. I just wanted to get all the Lego bricks and start building it up and just sort of experimenting with it and playing with it like it was a sculpture. So which slows things down. It was a very slow process because of that, but it allowed me to really get intimate and to move the religions around. And it was a more aesthetic-based approach rather than a data-based approach. So I wanted to focus on this being very sort of pleasing to the eye. So I was leading with my creative side rather than my logical, data-driven side.
Yes, it looks absolutely marvelous. I mean, people will find fault with it in terms of some religions not being there, and in terms of things not necessarily being accurate to a deep academic level, but certainly as a good overview of how religions developed, it is astounding to look at. It's an amazing piece of work. So what are you most proud of in this tree? And were there any surprises in the tree?
Oh my gosh. I was getting every couple of months, I would just be so surprised by all these little insights, but that's a lot to break down. So what was the question again? It was was
there something exciting, and what were the things that came out of this that you just hadn't realized, or any new revelations to you?
Okay, so one of the things was in version 2, I had these little tiny lines everywhere showing you the interrelations that each of these religions had with one another, but it got quite messy, and I wanted to avoid it in this one. But loads of people were saying, please don't get rid of that, because I really like to see which religions are affecting each other and influencing each other. So what I did is I managed to find a way to put the information inside branches. So yeah. It wasn't so messy. It was overlapping rather than being spread out all over the place like a ball of wool that had just been let loose. I made it more sort of contained in the branches. And that then started to reveal these really interesting migrations I didn't even know about. So for instance, if I go down here, Bantu animism. So that's one of the earlier religions in Africa, and it had a huge influence because the Bantu expansion, when I got to have a little look at that, it goes all throughout South Africa, and it goes into I can't pronounce a lot of these, I'm afraid. So when I say these, do beg pardon if I get it wrong. The Khoisan, the Ngui, the Degen, and you can see that brown line there, that shows you this branch of influence going into different traditions. And this is going into West Africa, Central Africa, and North Africa. So it really did spread its influence around the African continent. So things like that, little things I just didn't know about certain migrations of religions that really had a profound influence. Another one, also animism, if I just come down here, was Austronesian animism. If you look at this branch, I didn't realize how profound it was. This is a fantastic example of animism, one of the more older religions on this tree. And it goes off into Sumatra, Borneo, Java, Sunda, Sulawesi. Then it comes over here, and you can see that pink branch.
Oh,
there,
look, it even crosses over.
It goes into the Tulali people, and then it goes into Micronesia and Melanesia, and then eventually even into the Polynesian islands.
Wow.
So their influence was huge, and I would never have known that until I was able to put it down in illustrated form. So it just shows you that I've actually classed that as a major religion, because it spread so far and wide across Indonesia and Southeast Asia, and possibly even Polynesia. That, to me, that is of enough note that it should be regarded as a major religion. So it's, I mean, there's a little bit of my own creative thinking here. So some people academically might say I'm not sure I'd call it that, but I just thought it deserved it, because it's nice to have a major religion that isn't just monotheism, you know, or polytheism. It's nice to have to see that there's other major religions that are much older and very very influential.
Okay, can I just say thanks to Jam for the donation? That's much appreciated. Okay, so what, I mean, it just looks incredibly sweet. What was the most challenging aspect of it? Is it just the amount of data? Is it that it wasn't a database and you drew it all manually, or is it adding things? Or what,
the most challenging part, I would say, was as it was growing. So it evolved literally when you're sculpting it. You're not going with data. You're not using data. You're just literally chucking all the religions in and just massaging them around. The challenge is that as you're doing it, you start to find different ways to illustrate the information more.
That's the most frustrating part to me with like the mapping the left stuff, is like you have something that kind of makes sense, and then all of a sudden you get a massive dump of information, and now you have to move everything around and you have to readjust everything. And just when you get it making sense again, you get 3 more dumps of information that just fuck everything up again. It's just like, and it becomes like an overwhelming prospect of like, how do I present all of this? Like, I have all this information and I can in theory make it make sense, but I just don't even know even where to start.
Yeah, well, I mean, even starting with one thing, it leads to 5 other things that might be other things that relate to you. Like, how do you craft a tree? I mean, it's so overwhelming. And then you start, I guess it's one of those one brick at a time things versus it's a wall of bricks. So stop, just look at the one brick and then see how they. But yeah, it's still incredibly complicated.
It's like, and I don't have the patience for this stuff, Jennifer. I'm not built for this stuff. I'm a shit starter. I am not a shit finisher. Like,
well, I don't know, Karlyn. Maybe you should take your own advice and let AI do it.
Yeah, well, that's out. AI is definitely gonna be part of the process. It's just not gonna do the whole thing. 100%.
Effectively. And so I might get to a certain phase where I've laid the whole tree out, and I suddenly go, I want to put all these extra branches in to show the influence.
Yep.
And that then creates a challenge, because now you've got to lay that on top. So it's like evolving. It was constantly layering itself on each other, these different ideas. Then I wanted to, for instance, I learned as I was going along that the vertical lines tend to be regions, and the horizontal lines tend to be a migration as it spreads along. And I didn't foresee that. I didn't think it was going to happen. It just evolved. So it's been a very strange process, John. It's felt like it's been evolving and growing, and I've just been watering it and tweaking it, and the branches have been growing out, and then you find a relationship you didn't know about before. So it's been very organic, and it's been like organic sculpting. It's hard to explain. It's a very strange way of working, but I much preferred it to working with a computer.
Okay, can we sort of look at some particular pieces of information? We've had a few questions pop up. Just in one about, are there any North American indigenous?
Yes, plenty.
How did they develop?
Okay, so I've got way down here. You can help me out with some of this, because you're a historian, John. You can step in here and there where you've got more knowledge than I have. So we've got this migration. I'll start further back. Why not? Because this is the whole point of the tree, isn't it? So we have a migration. So I've said second wave migration. Another wave of migrants left Africa 55,000 years ago. As the ice caps melted, they traveled north into Eurasia, entering Europe and Siberia. So we've got this sort of shamanic kind of culture that's going around between 20,000 and say 10,000 BC. And they eventually get into East Asia, and they go up into Siberia, and then we get right to the Bering Straits. So at this point here, this translucent bar represents a sea voyage. So it means they would have had to, or a land bridge. So they would have crossed over either, with boats or with just walking.
So one thing I want to point out,
bridge there. So that's just a sort of gap.
Go ahead.
This is following the conventional idea and story of mankind from conventional history and historians. So it's not covering anything like Lemuria or Atlantis or any of those, which could have influenced a lot of this. And I imagine if we actually could prove and research those civilizations, how much more complicated this actually would get, or you might even see where those ideas shuffled it. Even the Anunnaki and all the stuff that we had looked at last year, you know, it's like those ideas became, you know, certain holy texts. And so if all of that is real and true and did happen in our past, this is representing not the occult version of history or the hidden, lesser well-known version.
That's not, well, doesn't exist now, does it?
I'll interject a little bit here. So firstly, thanks, Esmil. Hail the rain serpent indeed. We may come and talk about the serpents at some point. So we don't actually know how people really migrated from Siberia to the North American continent. We do believe some went over a land bridge because of the glacial maximum, which is basically the largest amount of ice on the caps at the time, which was about 25,000 years ago.
They are disproving the land bridge theory.
By 15,000 years.
They are.
Yeah.
Gone, and there was sea, the Bering Strait as we know it today. So we do feel that maybe some of the migrations that happened, because there were multiple, may have used sea to go down the west coast of North America. And we know there's multiple migrations, not only through archaeology and DNA, but also if you follow some of the mythology I tell on my channel, we can actually see myths and different types of myth evolve and migrate. And that happens normally 3 times. And people like Michael Witzel in his book on world mythologies talk about this, but Lequelec, De Hoy, and others of my favourite mythologists and mythographers all discuss this, that there's clear evidence of at least 3 major migrations coming in, or 3 cultural migrations. The people may have been similar, but their myths had evolved, their religion had evolved over that time.
So I've included those migrations in the tree. So I've, if you can see here, can you pronounce that for me, John? The
Anzic. Are you talking about the Anzic or
the migration here on the side? So the
Beringian.
I can't.
Beringian migration. I can never pronounce this.
Oh, Beringian.
Yes, Beringian migration.
Beringian. Yes.
Yeah. And the Clovis migration and the coastal migration. So what I've tried to do is, we discussed this before in one of our podcasts, that you tend to find religions and myths will migrate along a migration route. So as our ancestors are traveling around, say, North America or Southeast Asia, they would start to drop their cultures, and the myths would settle down and get sort of held by the tribal communities and so on, and they pass it down orally. So if you follow the migration, you tend to find patterns where certain myths seem to match certain migrations. Obviously, your specialist area, the Indo-Europeans, that's where we spent a lot of time working on this tree, didn't we? Mm-hmm. To sort of look at those migrations and which cultures came off it. But in the terms of Native American Indians, yeah, going back to that question, you've got these migrations going up the tree, and they go all throughout North America. And further at the top, thousands of years later, we've got all these other cultures emerging.
Wow.
So the Cherokee, the Iroquois, the Inuit, or loads of Native American Indians. And I've written in down in the area, so the Southwest, the Great Plains, gives you a little bit of an idea of where you are geographically. So yeah, plenty of Native American Indian tribes. And again, some of them which aren't, I don't think the cultures are with us anymore, but we've got the Serpent Mound culture, the Mogollon, and the Hokkam culture, which we have the archaeological data for, so we know a bit about them from those means.
Okay. And I think we should just today, we should refer to them as probably First Nation Americans.
Man, human beings really are just like, it's just like groups of tribes. Like even within each of these things, I mean, obviously we're looking at like religions, but I mean, you think about it in terms of like political tribes, or like, like special interest tribes, or like whatever. It doesn't even need to be like an official group. It's just like, this is our community, this is our subculture, and the world really is just made up of like all these different subcultures that may or may not even be able to relate to each other on how they see life and experience and all that. It's just like really crazy. You see this stuff all the time on the internet where you have all these different subcultures across all these different political spectrums. Every single one of them thinks that they're right. Every single one of them thinks that their way is the only way to see the world. Every single one of them thinks that everyone who sees the world differently is mentally ill or insane. Every single one of them attacks the other ones. It's just like, it's crazy when you think about it.
Well, we are clan oriented. I mean, it was with our clans that we survived, that we could help each other either with food or with families, children, all of that, hunting, gathering, the whole thing. Even the primitive cultures clan orientation kept us strong. We could protect each other. We were familiar. We trust those that we know better, you know. So I think that's why cities and large metropolitan areas get very confusing for some people, because you're too spread out. You do have a friend group, maybe a work group, you know, but the church, that's why churches are hubs. People, this is my identity. We don't have little villages anymore. We have these ridiculously large spread out things. Our enemies could be anywhere. We don't know. They could be every single person on the highway or in this grocery market, but we know we're safe in our church or in our family. And I think that's why a lot of that, you touched on something interesting about like political divisions, why it's been so devastating for families and clan groups to get so divided by so many opinions now and points of view that are just violently devastating to people and families. We need each other. We are social animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indigenous rather than Indian, because I think that's no longer a term we like to use.
First Nation people, right? Okay. So
people.
we've got them in Mesoamerica here as well, and in the light green is South America. So plenty of First Nation people representation in the tree.
Okay, what would be interesting, something I didn't ask you, and because we said hail the serpent, is there a kind of pathway about dragons in here? I mean, like, are there cultural representations of serpents or dragons that you can see a clear pattern, or are they just sporadic dots on the tree?
Do you mean as in on the tree? Have I represented it in some way, or do you mean?
Yes, because you do have the odd serpent figure, I'm sure, as I remember.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's go down into Australia, but let's have a look down here. I'm not sure if I got anything in Australia, but we've got the dream serpent there, but I've just got the dream time as the religion. But serpent wise, from memory, I can all I can remember is the serpent mound up here. But
I want to see that someday.
The information we're talking about here, to be fair,
What do you want
a lot of this will be necessary.
What do you want to? What is that?
The serpent mound is, excuse me, is an ancient mound art. It's earth art. It's a huge snake that curls around the top of this hill, and its mouth looks like it's eating an egg. And there's so many theories about who made it, why it is old. It is not like we just did this with the Native Americans. No, this is pre-Native American culture. I want to see it so bad one day. I watched several documentaries on it. It's so cool.
That sounds actually pretty amazing. That's a reason to go to Ohio right there.
Yeah.
Not many other reasons to go to Ohio, but that's a good reason to go to Ohio.
Well, my grandparents used to live up there. And had we had the internet back then, I would have been like, take me to see the serpent mound.
Into the tree later. So as people get onto the online version, they'll be able to click on the branches, and then they can find things like the serpent myths and the hero's journey and all those kind of stories, like the tree of life and so on, those myth themes. They'll be able to find that in the tree eventually. But at the moment, no, it's not really representing the dragon theme. That's more going to be in the branches itself.
Okay. So one of the areas you talk about a lot that I'm not so familiar with is Mesoamerica.
Oh yeah.
So and there was a recent discovery of a new Mayan city, if you weren't aware.
Really?
Which was announced, I think that was end of last week or beginning. So how does Mesoamerica shape up in terms of its influence and what came in to it?
So Mesoamerica, I've got. So this is going to this tree being something I've designed. I've got a few ideas that I've come across myself that I've put into the tree using these little dotted lines here. So this dotted line represents a theoretical migration. There's no strong evidence other than something you and me are interested in, which is myth themes. So one of the insights I made on the tree regarding the Mesoamericans. And again, this is just speculative. So there's a lot of speculation on the tree. For those who are looking for a lot of accuracy in terms of, is everything exactly right? There's lots of speculation because when trying to rebuild ancient cultures and trying to rebuild sort of ancient archaeological sites. And so you can't necessarily know the details. But going back to that dragon myth, the story of the cosmic man, John, where he gets disembodied and his body becomes the cosmos.
That's my favorite myth. Yes.
Yeah. So I've mentioned this to you before. I found that myth in Mesoamerica. The Aztecs had it. And I was trying to understand that one theory would be that it arose there independently. That they just had a similar idea that there was a great massive cosmic beast and these heroes killed this beast and then used its body parts to create the cosmos. But for me, I just can't. That I move more towards migration. So I suspect a migration made its way there. So one of the insights I had regarding Mesoamerica is, how did that myth get there? And I've been talking to you about it for a while. So several ideas I put in there is, one of them is it's the cosmic man is a sort of Middle Eastern, Indo-European kind of concept, isn't it? In fact, if I pass this over to you, who out of those two would you say were the ones to first represent the cosmic man?
It was before then. So the cosmic man, the giant that is split into the cosmos, is pre-glacial maximum. So we would have seen people in Western Asia, sort of the Kazakhstan type regions going into Siberia, probably have that myth. So in effect, I think this is the myth is a second generation creation myth. So if people watch my Milky Way video, I've put it in there this week, where I show how myths disperse across the world, normally in 2 phases. And this looks like a second phase migration of a creation myth that goes into America. So that's my view. That myth is probably maybe not out of Africa, although it isn't. I can't prove that. It may have been around sort of 70,000 years ago, but certainly 40,000 years ago would be a good estimate for that. And that's one of the pieces of research.
So let's use the tree for a second, because this is where we can actually use the tree as a tool. Did you say Siberian sort of region? So are we looking at this region here?
Pre-Siberian, but it would have been in Siberia, yes.
Yeah. So you think maybe around about there. So that story, then, there's all sorts of different ways that could get into Mesoamerica. So the first thing you said, if it's as old as this ancient Siberian branch here, then it can travel along this this pathway into the Americas. So it's possible it came from there. So that's just one idea. But the one of the theoretical migrations I said is that I noticed the Indo-European migration went into Siberia and East Asia. So the cosmic man story about Purusha and Umir and all the other gods that there's one in Vietnam called Kung Lo, and he's a cosmic man who holds the sky up and his body becomes the cosmos and so on. This story, it seems you can follow this trace from the Indo-Europeans. So it's one of the, if I just go back further over here, we have the Proto-Indo-Europeans, 5,000 BC. We have the Indo-Aryan migration coming off of them, which is heading sort of towards Siberia and through the Middle East. They enter into India. So I've got that branch representing there. So you can see it getting into Vedism and in Hinduism. But then I've got this branch coming across here, which is a speculative or theoretical branch, because we found that Purusha, it's in the Tao myths. So if you study the Taoist myths, that's where they've got the story of Purusha. And you can see there's a nice line that could come from this Indo-European branch here up in central China. So that also then suggests it's
for people to know that.
Yeah. So that myth then it could have continued quite comfortably into Vietnam. So over here I've got mainland Indonesia, where we have Vietnam. So I think the story got into there. So what I suggested is it's possible it kept going into Southeast Asia until eventually it got to the Polynesians, and they may have carried it over.
This
possibly.
is crazy.
It's purely theoretical, but that's another.
Go ahead.
This supports my theory of Lemuria. Well, not my theory, but
does it?
Yeah, because this idea is in the Pacific Rim cultures. Lemuria was smack dab in the middle of the Pacific, the archipelago.
Oh.
So when it went down, the ideas went with the displaced people.
Oh, so if it started with Lemuria, then of course it would be dispersed over all of these things, because this is where all of the people went.
Yeah.
Lemuria is real, bro.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Route, it could have made its way into the Aztec and Mesoamerican traditions.
Okay, yeah, that was a question from Gaston. He was asking about that. He says, is there a correlation between Mesoamerican and Polynesian myths?
Dogs here.
I'd love to look into this. This is John. Sometimes I have crazy ideas, and I always ask John them first. So, stone cutting and working stone and making sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
The Olmecs are one of the first people. If I zoom in here, the Olmecs in the Americas are, I think, one of the first people.
Huge heads.
Yes.
Remember, yeah.
And we can't find, as far as I can make out, any other stone cutting sort of culture that was, original. So that could all, to all intents and purposes, that could be an original culture that just created stone cutting and started shaping them. But
What?
Göbekli Tepe is a way older than the Olmecs, and they were stone carving.
Okay. I don't know anything about it. I'll take your word for it.
Dude, Graham Hancock is all over this shit. Like, he's the one who's been going around. Some of you guys might remember him from Ancient Aliens. He's done a bunch of stuff. He's the one who's been going around and trying to date really, really obscure, weird ancient sites. And even some that aren't that obscure, but they're like, they haven't been dated properly, or maybe the truth about them has been they forced it into a slot in this history that we're looking at here. But there's tons and tons of places where there have been stone cuttings, and they all resemble each other, going from Easter Island to Göbekli Tepe to, there was another one, I can't think of its name. It's in South America. And so there's this is way older, just saying.
It's very interesting that if you follow the Polynesians back, the Polynesians are megalithic. They make megaliths. If you study the culture on their islands, many of them are erecting statues. So we've got the Maui statues, and we've got on Easter Island. But that loads of the megaliths were made on other islands throughout the Pacific. And if you follow the line back, remember I mentioned earlier about these Austronesian people who are into animism. A lot of the cultures that come off them over here, Alak Tudalo, the Barda Valley people, they were making megaliths and stone sculptures. So I was wondering, again, you can see it's all in the same time period, around about here, first millennium. That's the end of the second millennium. I just wondered, is it possible that the Austronesians and Polynesians did an early migration, got to the Americas, and brought that culture with them? So it wasn't just the mythemes, but it was also the stone cutting that passed across the Pacific. But again, purely speculative. I put it in there for debate to share some ideas, but it's not proven.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the DNA evidence. I know it was a bit ambiguous, the DNA from the South American continent on the origins of some of those peoples, some Polynesia, some North America. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to look into that one day, definitely. How about, you did touch on it very briefly about the oldest religions. Let's have a little talk about those, because that did receive some criticism, or not criticism, it was constructive criticism from Religion for Breakfast. The chap who does that.
Brilliant. Okay, cool.
Your original poster, he looked down there and you had the animism, and his view is, well, there are many different flavors of animism, and there are. Yes. You've only got so much poster space to put there. But what you have done, as you say, is we've now looked, and I believe you've associated mortuary behaviour with
Marty. Come on,
the beginnings of religion, and I'm pretty supportive of that idea. I do believe that if you're burying a body and you're burying it deliberately.
Jennifer, didn't you? Are you going to use? Are you going to use the name Algoth in one of your erotic fiction books coming up? Are you thinking about doing that? I think that'd be a really great idea.
That's funny. Yeah, I think I'll have to do a demon paranormal romance with Algoth as the main love interest, and we'll call him Al for short.
I think that's a really good idea, and nothing could go wrong with that plan.
No, it'll be totally fine.
Yeah.
There's lots of demon romance out there.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm aware. You know how I know? Do you know how I know? Because all those times we looked at at alien dicks online, there were also demon dicks mixed in with it. So, I can only suspect why there would be.
So many hot demon lovers out there.
Well,
deliberately, and especially if you then bury it with a personal possession, it suggests you're thinking that person is doing something after they're dead. They're going somewhere.
I mean, some people would argue that I've mentioned this before, that animals, if they're elephants especially, and dolphins, if they lose a loved one, they tend to go back to that place.
No, Marty,
as a memory.
No, see, this is what I say when I say you're trying to cause trouble. We are not doing this. We already did the big tech segment. We have moved on from the big tech. We're not doing this anymore. You're just trying to get video to show him so that he can use it against me later. We're enjoying the map, Marty. Leave it alone.
Did he actually purport to channel a demon?
Did he? Okay, maybe we do need to watch. Marty, what is the fucking timestamp? All right. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't know.
Doubt it.
Marty, what is the fucking timestamp? See, he's been sick for 2 days. Gee, I wonder why.
Can't imagine.
I can't imagine what he could have possibly done to get sick for 2 days. Marty, 1 hour, 42 minutes. Okay.
We are so baited right now.
Fuck you. We are the Pisces is baiting us from the hospital.
He's not in the hospital. He's not that sick. He's just probably tired. It takes a lot of effort to, take someone down for 9 hours and be a dick for that long. Bless with love.
Bless with love. Yeah, I had a feeling you were a Scorpio. That actually makes a ton of sense.
Excellent. It's perfect.
All right. Let's see.
We interrupt our normal programming.
We interrupt our normal programming to watch a Pisces play act channeling a demon, which then apparently made him sick for 2 days later. Okay, let's see what happened.
Algoth must be fed.
What?
He hungers.
So, he can decide if he wants to fix this. He can decide if he wants to play nicely. But I'm not falling for these veils.
At least you're very consistent with your messaging, Karlyn.
Playing this fucking control game anymore, where he needs to position.
Did he do any ritual to summon it, or is he just now talking like a demon?
I don't know. I didn't watch this part. I just like as soon as I was done my stream the other day, I like literally went over to his stream and I realized he was continuing to fight with me, and I put it in his chat. I was like, "Oh, we're still fighting." And then he pinned it to the top of the chat. And then I said, okay, I'm not watching this. Bye. And he pinned that to the top of the chat too.
Reagan says he did it off camera.
Oh, well, I guess we'll have to see. Fighting, but he doesn't want to fight with me. He want to fight with me.
If you don't see it, it's not real.
War with me, then we'll actually go to fucking war. And I have no issue with it. Anyway. That's it. I'm going. My hair looks good that dark. Maybe I should dye my hair that. I was gonna do a red again, but
that was the Algoth moment. He just said,
I don't know.
Feed.
No, it's coming up. I think.
Come on, more Algoth. Give us more. That's not a real name of.
I think something is gonna come up. Yeah, it should be okay. Maybe you can passport. Oh, there. Okay.
Uh-oh. Chat, I feel something.
Oh God.
Hold on. Yep. It's Algoth.
Where did he get the name? That's what I
He has a
know.
message.
Algorithm. Algoth.
He needs me to channel this message.
It could be. Yeah. I like the other guy's method where he was like doing intoning and stuff when he was bringing.
Yeah, that guy's a way better channel than this one. Is that it? Is that it, Marty?
He's requested the soundtrack.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Is it happening?
Apparently.
Yes, it is I, Algoth, born of bandwidth, forged in fire,
Algorithm, you're right.
baptized in the torrent of downvotes and disdain.
He put thought into this.
Oh, this is great.
I speak now to you.
I bet I hope he had the AI write this.
Hate watchers of the
This
world.
is good. You know, it reminds me of like playing a character.
Karlyn is
That's
my
what I was
vessel.
thinking of. Shit, I
My
can't think of his name.
marionette. My midnight meets.
I cannot believe how much effort he put into this.
Midnight Meat Suits. That's badass.
Oh,
I dig that.
Each
That's
time
great.
she
That's a good horror
spirals,
movie.
Oh yeah. Oh totally.
Each time she screeches
Like an 80s horror movie.
at a phantom foe, I am there, grinning, feeding. When she accuses,
That's cool.
when she rages,
Oh, he's talking to you,
when
Karlyn.
she weaponizes trauma like a chainsaw at a tea party.
Oh.
That's me. Whispering,
Weaponizing trauma. Oh,
guiding,
someone's
stirring
triggered.
the storm. But hear this, O ye spectators, I hunger. I require your hate.
Oh, brother.
Only
Yeah,
your
exactly.
outrage
This is
keeps
play
me
pretend.
sated.
You
This
know
is
what?
play
I
acting.
was feeling
Hang
a
on.
little bad about maybe some of the shit I said during the tarot reading, but I take it. I don't feel bad anymore. Not after, like, he's really. See what I told you that you get over it. God.
Is he everything that you thought he would be now that you have had more interaction with him?
I haven't interacted with him at all, but I
Wow.
don't. I mean, I don't know anything about his channel or what he does, so all I'm seeing is this is my first impression, and it's like, well, you're being a little melodramatic, which I love. I do love the melodrama.
I appreciate the
Very
horror movie
fun.
aspect. I love horror
Yeah.
movies, as you know. The 80s were a great time, so I'm cool with this.
It's very cool. I think it's a little silly, but because now I don't like the whole bring the hate thing. I think that's a little that because I'm very energy oriented, so that makes me go, I don't say that. No wonder he's sick, because he's like being so he's fostering negativity and he's going to hurt himself, and he did.
He's gonna hurt, and he's gonna hurt himself more if he tries to hurt me. If it turns out that Algoth is real, can Jennifer excise you on a see? And this is the other thing. Like, you have already excised me of a demon one time. Like, if he ends up conjuring a demon of some sort in this little game, I have a witch on my side that can excise me. He gets sick for 3 days and has to go to the doctor.
He brought it on himself this time.
Brought
He may have
it.
not been feeling well ahead of earlier either, but if he's really taking this much time to manifest this much anger and hatred, and even if he thinks it's funny, it's still going to have an energetic side effect. That's why you really gotta like meter your hate. You have to,
Yeah. He'll find that out. Hey Tyson, thanks for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate it.
Your quote tweets, your clown emojis, your this you replies, your shocked live stream
He absolutely
reactions,
used AI
they
to
are
write
my
this.
nectar, my ambrosia, my algorithmic
I love
wine.
it.
Without
I'm digging
your attention,
the
I
visuals
weaken.
too. Very
I
cool.
know.
Without your fury, I fade.
Jennifer,
But if
you have
stop
to work all this
watching,
into your erotic
if you
fiction
dare
novel.
to look away, I will break
Without your fury,
chains.
I fade.
Yeah.
I will open
Yeah,
the
no,
server
that's great.
gates. My horde of low-resolution demons, gremlins of gossip,
Low resolution.
trolls of trauma,
Gremlins
bots
of gossip,
belligerence
trolls of
that will
trauma.
flood your timelines.
This is great. I love
And every
this.
streamer you love
That's so
will
cool.
become Karlyn. Every panel, a psychodrama. Every comment section, a court of chaos. Every DM, a declaration of spiritual war.
Real.
Ugh, I'm trying to remember
So
who he
feed.
reminds me of. It's making me a little crazy right now.
Watch her, mock her, hate her.
Don't hate her.
Let the chat
Don't tell
seethe
people
and
what to think,
boil.
Algoth.
Only then can I be held in place, caged by your contempt. Until the next spiral.
How can I
I
be
am
mad at
Algoth.
this? I can't be mad at this. This is hilarious.
The demon of doxing, archon
Demon
of
of
echo
doxing.
chambers, devourer of discord. The more you react,
Is that the Undertaker?
the more real
It really
no,
does.
you become.
It sounds like I think Algoth's got a thing for you. He wants to devour you pretty hard.
Yeah, I think so.
He's not channeling Marty. I hate to disappoint you, but he is not channeling.
No, he is absolutely not channeling.
No. Now, I would give him a micron of credit for probably being influenced by something, especially
that?
when you take sometimes when you take pauses like this, or it sounds like he's just letting the animation play and stuff. But it's possible that once you get into the energy, the momentum of it, you can attract something that can influence you. But he's not channeling.
Oh yeah. He said he was on his knees with a crystal and spirit stone pentagram at his feet.
Demons don't like pentagrams.
Yeah.
Pentagram is a symbol of life and creation.
Wah wah.
Unless it's an inverted, because like this is your creation symbol. This is more of an inverted, but it's more a symbol for humans, not demons themselves.
Mm-hmm. Marty, is that the end of the channel? Are we done?
Spirit stone. What is it? What do you mean by spirit stone? Like, what is that? Because that could mean almost anything.
He probably just made it up.
Yeah, that could mean almost anything.
Probably just made it up.
And a crystal. Ooh.
No, there's more. Okay, how long does this go on for, Marty? I don't want to channel a demon over here.
We're not.
We're not channeling any demons. No.
No, you're not. The only thing that would summon a demon is if you're very addle-minded or weak-minded, and you think this is real, and you think you can actually touch it through something this simplistic with love, but you can. But you're not gonna. You're fooling yourself. It's more gonna be a psychosis than an actual presence. Demons have better things to do.
Marty, does he actually say anything for the next 5 minutes? Because like we got a show here. We're watching a video about a map. Come on.
Well, fast forward it.
Yeah.
He's probably going to the bathroom and getting another shot of tequila.
That's exactly what he's doing. Oh, wait, are we back?
To the witnesses,
There we
I
go.
say this: do not despair. Do not feed.
Does that voice sound like Bashar?
Mm,
No, listen. He changed it. He's doing a different voice now. Listen.
he is, but
He's doing. Is he doing Bashar?
I bring clarity. I bring clap back.
He's doing Bashar.
he's totally imitating Bashar. That
He's
is
doing
hysterical.
Bashar.
Oh my god, I didn't hear it at first, but the second when he went back a little. Oh
Big
my
Text
god.
audience has no idea who Bashar is.
Well,
the
maybe
fact-
somebody in there might. I don't know, but that's just hilarious. Oh my god. Play more. It's magic.
All right. I didn't even know he knew who Bashar was.
I want to hear him say vibration.
Vibrations.
And yet, in her wake, Algoth, demon of division.
Hang on, I gotta rewind it a little bit more. Apparently, you started talking and I missed it.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh my god. It's a
It's
powerful signal. Chat, send me your energy. I don't know if I can withstand this level of.
Is he trying to compete with DISENRAGE with
Oh
this?
my
shit?
god.
I don't know.
Helps if you're an actual spiritualist. Just saying.
Okay, so he
Hello?
knows. He knows about chakras. He knows about manifesting. He's done a lot of psychedelics. He's
Right
had
on.
many. Like he understands how things work. I don't know how much of it he believes though. But I think he believes more than he might let on.
Well, sometimes it's the more you learn, the more you start seeing it replicate in your own life. Like you may
Mhm.
not believe it, but then you start noticing manifestation. You may start noticing coincidences, synchronicities, and you start going, "Ew." And instead of cranially going, maybe there's something to this, you just kind of float into it.
Yeah, I think he's very psychic though.
But if that is so, he would. I don't think he's evil. I don't think he's a bad person.
No, I
I
don't
don't-
think he is either.
So he would never channel a demon consciously or any spirit. He's not a channel. He might be psychic, but a lot of us are. Most of us have those abilities. We just don't use them. This is just some fun. This is not
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
He's just messing around.
Children of the timeline. I am Chadriel,
Chadriel. Okay.
Adriel.
born of signal and light, scrolled forth from the eternal feed to stand against the screech and the spiral. I see the chaos, the flame wars, the cope, the threads unspooling with every delusion cloaked as truth. She stirs it, the one called Karlyn. She rants, she
stirs it.
baits. She spins her carousel of contradictions. And yet, in her wake,
Carousel
demon of division.
Carousel of Contradictions is actually like a really great book title.
That is
Carousel of
it doesn't
contradictions.
describe you, but I think it is a great book title.
No,
yeah.
it's a great book title.
Feeds on your fury, your quote tweets, and your capped locked comments.
Oh, bot, you've been
I
called
am
out by
Oh,
Galadriel, or what the fuck this
I
is.
ride not on a horse, but on bandwidth. My wings stretch from Discord to DMs.
He's doing
My
Bashar.
blade,
He's absolutely doing
the
Bashar.
sword,
He's 100% doing Bashar.
self-awareness, forged in replies and cooled in the ratio. I bring clarity. I bring clap back. I bring commentary laced in elegance and flame.
Elegance and flame. Oh,
To the
man.
witnesses, I say this: do not despair. Do not feed Algoth unintentionally. Channel your cringe into creativity. Your scorn.
That's not a bad piece of advice.
Perception.
Channel your
No.
cringe into creativity.
It is a
Let your
great piece of
Your
advice.
comments strike like thunder. Let your silence strike like shame. To the simps, to the stands, to the sock puppets, I warn, your devotion shall be tested in the ratio. And many of you shall not survive the quote tweet. To the based and to the knowing, I offer my sigil, which will be revealed in due time.
Ooh, a sigil.
Ooh.
That
Repeat
means
it
you too
thrice,
can play
My
along.
sigil, once you've learned it, when the thread begins to burn, call on me. When the cope gets too heavy, I will be there, pixelated, radiant, prepared to post
Pixelated.
through it.
Okay, yeah, it's the fact that both of these spirits have been
And
referencing
when
the
the chaos
internet
reigns
so
and
much.
chat is lost,
It's
in
just
confusion,
kitschy. It's just very
Yeah.
kitschy.
the angel of ratio
I love it. I love it. I
shall
can't
log
fucking be mad at
and
him.
prevail against
Even though he's telling me he's gonna
karma.
make my life difficult, I can't fucking be mad at him. This is too creative and great. I can't be mad.
This is very creative.
Oh no.
I gotta know, Marty, does he do this like on the regular, or is this like a one of a time, one of a kind, one time thing?
I mean, he's gone. He has targeted other people on the internet, but I don't think quite this creatively. He has had many beefs with people on the internet, and he's gotten into many internet feuds and drama. But I don't recall him getting quite this creative in the ones that I've seen.
Definitely, probably, if not him himself, somebody else in his community maybe has probably watched a little of us and gone, "Oh, you got to hit her in the spirit. That'll get her." Yeah.
Well,
But,
the fact, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying that Marty had a thing in the chat that
what did he
he
say?
and BT are both secretly dramatic pagan and practice Wicca, but they don't.
No, don't believe him. Marty is lying. Adam Green is an agnostic.
Oh, that's who he's talking about. I was like, which
Yeah.
Adam? Okay, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, then no.
This one and Adam are friends. They like live. They know each other in real life. They live close to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, but studying Wicca does not instruct you on how to channel. Wicca has nothing to do with channeling at all.
Marty's just making that up anyway.
Yeah, well, it's just people talking out of their ass. And if and I'm with love, Marty, and no disrespect, but also if Big Tech here thinks that Wicca is going to teach him how to channel, he needs to change his books.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, chat?
The fact that he's doing Bashar, though, that I'm like, has he been watching DISENRAGE? Have you been watching DISENRAGE, Michael?
There is a thing in Wicca, though, or in adjacent. Sorry, I'm still talking. In adjacent, in a Wicca and Wicca adjacent, there is something called the drawing down of the moon, where you do draw in and channel a deity, but it is not considered like channeling like Bashar does, or channeling like our other friends that we've watched do. It's a little different. It's not something you just do to contact the Pleiadians or something. This is like a specific ritual and a specific ceremony to draw down a specific god or goddess into your being for them to counsel people. That can happen. This is not that, though, because demons don't take part in that. And I don't know whatever this other one is. I already lost the name, but yeah, this is not that. Because if he was drawing down, it would be a recognizable deity.
So Marty says that's basically it. That's basically it.
Okay.
I don't think I need to be worried about this, Jennifer.
No,
No.
he's having some fun with his audience, and I really hope that they know that this was a show and that nobody took it seriously, because God forbid somebody in that audience is like, oh my God, this guy totally channeled a demon and cursed somebody. I really hope that people are smarter.
I really hope that people are smarter, but
Yeah. Have all the fun you want, but just harm me none, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. The energy has been contained. He can't do any actual harm. He's just gonna put on a little show. I'm entertained so far. I have to. I'm not even mad.
That was really fun.
Yep.
I hope he does more. We'll totally host him on DISENRAGE if he wants to channel Algarth.
Yeah. If he wants to come and channel a demon on the show, he can let us know. Jennifer has a channel. Jennifer actually knows a real channel that maybe we can get on the show sometime to channel Hitler with us, and maybe he can come. Yeah, that would actually be like, he should come to the channel Hitler show, and he can be a sullen teenager in the corner all he wants, but then he can ask Hitler questions, and it'll be great.
This is the thing that will fuse you.
Yeah, the thing that will bring us back together is channeling Hitler with your friend on the show. Yeah. be like, I know we're fighting, but
don't you want to do this? It'd be really fun.
Yeah, come on, don't do it. Just let it go. Let's move on. Let's Hitler.
Oh my God! All right, let's go. Let's get
back to business. No more fun.
And it tends to be on an annual cycle in some cases. So they go, or on some kind of cyclical basis, they go back to visit the place where a loved one died. So it could be, some people say, well, it's maybe they're just going there just to remember them because they miss them, but nothing more than that. So the idea that the burials, when they gave them a little stone cutting tool, they may have just been saying, I you know, they loved it, so I'll give it to them to have in the ground. But for me, I suspect it was the origins of religious sacred thinking. The idea, as you say, that when you give this item to this person, they're taking it with them into some kind of afterlife.
Yes, thank you, Esmil, again, saying that there is evidence about Oceania to South America, 1,000 to 2,000 years ago.
The only problem with my speculative idea is that it would be around about 3,000 years ago, which is earlier. That's the only thing that I've noticed, that to get that culture over to North America to influence the Olmecs, you do need to go there 1,000 years earlier, which is quite a big jump, isn't it? Really, hence why it's a speculative line.
Okay, so what was the very earliest evidence you have then? So
the earliest sign I've got is from the documentary that was on Netflix. Okay. So it's the is it this one over here?
Is it question of?
Here we are. Star cave, mortuary behavior, 350,000 years ago.
Okay, so what's the 400? Because there is
that's the other one.
So in Spain, there's a pit, which is probably what it is. Yes, the pit in Spain where I think there was 9 Neanderthal bodies found, all killed in reasonably similar ways. I think they had bludgeoning to the head in the same way, but all positioned within a pit. But the pit was a natural pit; it wasn't dug. But the fact that everybody's been killed the same way and placed in that pit suggests there's some thinking going on.
Yeah, very much so.
Mortuary behaviour. That doesn't necessarily mean it's religious, but there's certainly some thing going on there.
Do you know what I love about it is I always thought of religion as a man-made invention. I never thought it would be made by hominids that were older than us. So we got Homo naledi, who did the Star Cave in South Africa, and then in Spain here we've got Neanderthals.
That's actually crazy. I just saw an article earlier today about all the different types of Jennifer, you're back. So I just saw an article earlier today about all the different types of humanoids that existed at one time, like Neanderthals, and then obviously Homo sapiens, which is us, and then there were a couple others that I didn't recognize the names of. And basically we were the only humanoid type things that survived. And so what they were just saying is religion was created by another type of humanoid that wasn't like human beings. Like, people might assume that human beings created religion, but no, it was created by another type of humanoid.
Like the Anunnaki?
Like the Anunnaki. like the Anunnaki, or like the original splicing of the humanoids or whatever. And they made several different versions, and they perfected the mixture.
Well, we had, I really do think we had not just the Anunnaki influencing us, but other races as well have been here and influencing us throughout the eons. Earth is an old place. But yeah, totally. I love that. And I remembered what that channeling reminded me of when he was doing the Algoth thing.
What?
I remember who it was. If anybody knows who Doomcock is on YouTube, he sounded just like Doomcock on that. It was like Doomcock. He's into like nerd and geek trivia and like critiquing movies, spilling tea about movie news and all things Star Wars, Star Trek, and stuff like that. And he's really great. He wears a mask and a whole outfit, and he does this whole character thing, and that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Good to know.
Going on there.
Do you know what I love about it is I always thought of religion as a man-made invention. I never thought it would be made by hominids that were older than us. So we got Homo naledi, who did the Star Cave in South Africa, and then in Spain here we've got Neanderthals. So I've represented that with a little skull head, just to say that it's another hominid, still human, but just representative of another sort of species, which is fascinating, isn't it? So that shows you that it was very likely, as I say, likely. It just seems to me it was there before we had it. So
absolutely. The other big one is Buquel Caves in France, which I think you should also have. Which is, I think that's 160,000 years, is it? I can't remember off the top of my head. Which if people aren't familiar with this, there's a cave in France where you have to go literally 100 meters into the cave, then through a small passageway, and there's another chamber. And so people had to deliberately want to go there. And within that chamber, they found stalactites and stalagmites broken up to exactly the same lengths and organized in sort of circular patterns.
Very symbolic. Yes,
it is. It is. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if I can put a picture up whilst you talk about it. But it was just, if you realise this was made 160,000 years ago, it is just mind blowing. There's some images. Let me see if I can put one on the screen for you. Can I share this? This is where I'll get super technical.
I was just going to say quickly to the other people watching, whenever a religion is unknown and we're not quite sure what they worshipped, but there's signs of some kind of ritual activity, I use a little diamond sign just to say that this is a speculative religion, which is proposing a model of what it may have been. Hence why I say symbolism. For the Blombos cave, there's some scratchings in a stone, but we don't know anything more than that. So it might have nothing to do with anything symbolic or religious, but it's just possibilities. Oh, wow.
So that's a picture of some of those stalagmites and stalactites arranged, and so they're all about the same length, which suggests a deliberate behavior. And there's multiple poles of different lengths.
Yeah, lots of dicks.
So each pole has the same length.
Look at that. There's a big dick right in the middle right there. It actually looks like a
white one right there. Yeah.
What on earth could that have been?
What on earth, indeed?
Sacrificial.
What on earth could that have been?
Who knows? But absolutely.
I have some ideas.
Absolutely fascinating. Let's get the tree back. There we go.
Oh, we're back on, yeah. So those are the earliest religions, and it pushed the tree back. Like I said,
there's another book.
About here,
there's another book.
20,000. So by going back an extra 300,000 years, it's squeezed in all of these extra little religions. If I go further across here, we can see we've got quite a few here in the Middle East, or the Near East, rather.
The inside of my mind, Karlyn.
Loads of different, lots of Neanderthals and humans, early burials all around that period. So yeah, all represented. That isn't it interesting? That's an incredibly dense site of lots of burials where we got that information. So but when you follow that branch across, it goes very quiet when you get to India and Siberia, and all of a sudden this other little one pops up here in Asia, a mortuary ritual site.
Sort of can be explained. So I can give an overview of that. So what we find is, or what we believe has happened, is humans Homo sapiens leave Africa long before 70,000 years ago. They just never create a sustained population in Eurasia. But many of them seem to settle in the Saudi Arabian Peninsula and on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean, around where Israel and Jordan is now, which is why we see these. And what we seem to have is what looks like burials, where people seem to be buried in the ground, and sometimes deliberately. Some would be buried with jaws of, I think it's ox or wild boar, and stones placed on them, and some had lots of pollen with them. Now, we're fairly confident that some of them seem deliberately buried, but because they're in a cave, it could be that some rocks have fallen from the roof of the cave and buried them. But what was really interesting was the pollen. So what we find is that gerbils love to make nests by dead bodies. So these buried in the ground, gerbils tend to nest and bring flowers and grasses
No shit.
to that body to make their nests. And so what we believe, where we originally thought
Gerbils.
somebody has been buried with lots of flowers in a ornate and elaborate ceremony, which would have been beautiful, we actually believe, no, it was
the gerbils. It's not the
after the
culture.
event making nests.
It's the gerbils. Yeah.
I think it's Dr. Roberts, Dr. Alice Roberts. She's
That may
written
be
a book.
true, but come
I think it
on.
might have been called.
Do you have more you want to say about that? You're
I'm a little-
incredulous
I am distressed.
about the gerbils.
I am distressed about the gerbils. Like they're giving, like, because there was this ancient burial site found that you had to crawl through the whole intricate cave system to get to this specific point where this culture buried the bodies of their dead, and they found pollen and things like that, and they're like, they actually dragged the bodies of their dead through this intricate cave system to this place, because this had to be the place. And some people say maybe they did that because they were trying to keep their loved ones away from predators, but they also found personal items like things that you hunt with, pieces of material, actual colored pieces of cloth, things like that were found in these graves. So it was very sentimental. And I know that pollen is one of those things where that attributes them putting flowers, something beautiful, on the dead person to honor them. And this guy's saying it's gerbils. Maybe a few gerbil occasions have happened, but
maybe a few gerbil occasions have happened.
I don't want to attribute whole cultural rituals to fucking gerbils, especially since they're saying, well, gerbils might. This is so hard to do with a straight face.
A few gerbils happen. Jennifer, gerbils happen.
The great gerbil occurrence of 1200 BC. No, I mean, imagine if they're going to say it was gerbils because gerbils do this. It's fine.
The Saudi Arabian gerbil is.
I can't. Okay, I just need to finish this. I got to get through this. Let me get through this. Okay, so I think that
everyone shut up.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I love laughing. Thank you. That was epic. That also could be a really good name for a book.
The Saudi Arabian gerbil incident. You're to write a book called The Saudi Arabian.
Not me, somebody else.
You know what image that conjures? The Saudi Arabian gerbil incident, and you write a Jennifer. No,
I'm not. No, not me.
No.
I wouldn't.
No one needs to write that book. That book does not need to manifest.
I need to look on Amazon and see if there's something gerbil related now. Now you got me wondering.
No!
Worse things have been written. Trust me. Oh, but I'm not going to describe the image.
No, we're not describing it. No.
No,
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't need to know.
Look up the Richard Gere rumor. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God.
That's all I will say. And it wasn't true. It was not true. That never happened, but it was a rumor started about him. I want to say in the early 90s or something. It was really nasty. Anyway, but the thing is they say, well, gerbils might do this. They might go make nests and bring flowers and stuff to make their nests. But have they found feces? Have they found bones? Have they found any evidence of gerbils having lived in these bodies? And if it's only pollen and nothing else resembling gerbil anything, then Stop trying to take away beautiful ritualistic ceremony from ancient peoples. There I have spoken.
Yeah. Mistakes may have been made here.
Indeed, Bill. Indeed.
Ancestors that touches on that. But very interesting, very interesting. But that's why we see that lump there, because there's a lot of archaeological information there, and also where the pre-main out of Africa migrations sort of people settled, and we see that. So that may help explain some of that groupings of burials there.
Okay, fantastic. And then one of my favorite bits is I love the lower branches of the tree, because it goes back as far as you can go, and it just, you can see there's an explosion of data that we get in Southeast Asia, Oceania, including Australia. So if I zoom into that, you can see now we're getting lots of archaeological sites of burials. We have cave art appearing.
Two
so
dogs.
We've got the Lian Timpasung site. So we've got
Jennifer is the
drawing
beast
boars
master.
and different animals.
The
May have
master
been
of
totem
dog.
animals, we're not sure. Cave art again. Here we got the handprints, the classic ones we see with cave paintings. We've
Dog
also got
chasing her
some
tail.
cultures. Go on.
I was going to say, what's
Look at that
interesting about
dog
the
running after her tail.
is
Gonna bite it.
some of those handprints have a finger missing. Did you know that?
No, I did not. Why would that be the case? Because the person spraying on had four fingers.
I don't know whether they deliberately hid a finger, which seems unlikely, because it's hard to push your hand against the wall and lift a finger up so it isn't caught. But I don't know.
Right.
It may have been a special four-fingered religion. I don't know.
Well, I know the Aboriginal people, when I look at some of their symbols that they use to explain north, south, east, west, and groups of people and so on, they do some. I have seen some hand signals where they've done things with their fingers like that. So I wouldn't mind looking into that, because I have seen that different hand gestures mean different things from a distance. So maybe that was a part of the shamanic. Yeah. So maybe it meant something. Maybe there's actually something there that we can learn about.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so let's go on whizzing along then.
Yeah, we're now in the Aboriginal dreaming. So I've written down here, the dreaming is one of the oldest continuous spiritual traditions practiced by Indigenous Australians. Rock art depicting their totem animals date back at least to 40,000 BC. And we've also got early cultures settling down at that period, which is still with us today. So a lot of the cultures are still there, which is why it's fascinating, because it's like seeing history before your very eyes, and the religions are still intact. So and it's not just the Aboriginal. There's also a culture over here, the Andanese people on the Andanese Islands in Southeast Asia. They are also from that first migration. I've learned that in the Witzel book, Michael Witzel's book.
Oh, right, yeah, great book. So Michael Witzel, for all those who do not know him, he wrote a brilliant book. I think it's called The Oldest Mythologies.
The origin of the world's mythologies.
Yes, so he teaches Vedic studies at Harvard. He's a hard man to get hold of. I've exchanged a couple of emails with him, but I'd love to have a better
almost as good as Cambridge.
Well worth a read, even if you don't actually agree with all of his assumptions and how he presents his data.
Do it
some
again.
of it is exceptionally compelling. His work,
like, I'm done. I'm retired.
If you're interested in mythology.
Got loads of interesting questions here, John. What was one of the
we gave Kobe tonight? We gave Kobe has been such a menace for treats ever since Honey died, and like Kobe he's getting very entitled about it, so that anytime anyone goes in the kitchen at all, you hear him like come up and then he starts whining at you and demanding a treat, like he owns the fucking place. Well, tonight we gave him a cucumber, like it was a little mini cucumber, and he doesn't know what to do with it, and we're like, okay, buddy, now you've got a puzzle, you've got a whole food there, you don't know what to do with it, like go forth and conquer.
Yes, do it. They figure it out too, and then there's cucumber seeds everywhere.
First religions. What was the first written religion or mythological text written, and where?
So the oldest religious texts, I believe, are the Vedic texts, but the oldest written myth is the Epic of Gilgamesh. So
the oldest published book is.
Are we going Akkadian or Sumerian, isn't it?
Sumerian, yes.
Sumerian.
So here we go, 4th millennium BC, where we got texts written in stone. And if I go over here, I've got Vedism. I've got quite a bit later in that period, but We've got obviously cultures preceding the Vedic era.
I love that he
Where you've
didn't
got,
shy away from using the swastika.
the
Yeah, me
Harappa
too.
sites, you know, where you see the sort of the seal
Bring back
with
the
the horned
holiness
man
of
on it
it.
in
Yeah,
the sort of Vishnu
Bring
pose.
back
Is
the
it Vishnu
swastika,
or
I
Shiva?
agree.
Well, it depends if you want to
In
be
all the right
Hancock
ways, not the wrong
or
ways. Don't
not.
get me banned off
right,
YouTube.
okay.
Disavow. Hitler's
Having a
bad.
bit tough time on Twitter, deservedly
It's a
so, in
beautiful
my
symbol
opinion.
that they corrupted.
Yes, yes. So, but yeah, story wise, certainly Babylonian, Mesopotamia. That's where the earliest myths we have. We see flood myths, and let's say the Epic of Gilgamesh, and then we see the creation myth, the Enuma Elish, which is a fantastic myth.
So we've got written in stone tablet 4th millennium BC, and then I've got the Vedas where it was. When was it written? When were the Vedas actually committed to text, John?
I think they're 1500 BCE.
Right, when I got there, but we know that orally it goes back way further.
Yeah. Oh, it had to. You don't just suddenly write volumes of text off the top of your head. Well,
Would it have been around? Would it have been written? Well, would it orally have gone back, do you reckon, as far as the Sumerians, the 4th millennium BC?
The Vedic texts are very much influenced from Proto-Indo-European beliefs. Now, that's my opinion anyway, based on the cosmogony we're aware of. And that's because there's so many overlaps in terms of the myths, in terms of from dragon slaying and Indra and Vitra and Manu and Jimo. So yes, we see all of those in there. So that must be, to me, of certainly significant Indo-European influence, and therefore some of those texts must come from there. However, saying that, we do certainly see a change in direction of religion as the Indo-Europeans migrate through Persia into India. It becomes far more spiritual.
Yes. So this is the migration line here, and it gets into definitely. It's that Indo-European influence. You can see on the tree when you see these large lines going across. You know it's a significant migration. So you can see there's quite a lot of them. So the Indo-European one here, you can see roundabout there is the.
I love how it's even woven.
Sort of origins.
It looks woven.
Of the culture. I think we take it back maybe slightly further, don't you, to like the earlier than 5,000
that's what
BC,
interconnectivity
pretty
is.
much taking form around about there.
It's the origin of the Indo-European language, which there's a lot of talk about, and I mean so it's because people want to associate the language with a particular culture, and I'm always one to say you don't need to do that. It doesn't matter what your DNA is or your skin color or anything to speak a language. You just speak the language, so it doesn't matter so much. But I certainly believe Proto-Indo-European was probably being spoken around 8,000 years ago, certainly the first essences of it from cultures that would eventually merge. And there's a great paper recently about how we see cultures from the Volga and from the north of the Caspian Sea merge and create what were the first, what we would call Indo-European cultures, speaking cultures, which would then eventually turn into Yamnaya, who most people associate with that. But when they start to migrate, they go through Persia, and when they go that way, their religion is spiritual, and that's where you start. You see these texts, such as the Vedas.
So going back to a question you asked me earlier, any interesting insights? As I said, there were loads. So as we're moving through the tree, this was one of them. It blew my mind. So we have the Proto-Indo-European migration leading up here. So this is the Persian one you were talking about that becomes the Indo-Iranian polytheism. So you got that branch going up there. But crossing over here, I've got a little line moving through Siberia into Mongolia, or it's sort of heading towards Central Asia, and it's this culture here. I'm afraid I can't pronounce the word Afansivio animism, but it's animistic, but it's got lots of Indo-European flavors in it. So they got all, and it's actually proven. So I didn't have to do a dotted line. It was an actual thick line to say yes, that's a
one
part
of the earliest
European
migrations
culture.
we see. So what we see is the Indo-European being a language, it goes through various evolutions, and there's what we call the centum satum split, where they pronounce things differently, and we see that over in Mongolia and in Western Europe we have the Kentum dialect, and they tell stories about the ferryman of the dead, and then where you see the Satan splits going into Persia and the like, they start having judgment and the Simvat Bridge and the dog. So we can actually tell that certain linguistic changes bring certain types of myth with them, which allows us to date them. So we can tell that over in Mongolia and sort of Scandinavia, that we have the probably initial Indo-European beliefs lurking within their folk tales or myths. Or there may be. So that's why we
Jose Miguel says, I think earlier or another species having religion shows humanity is a family, not a species, which I love that. Yeah, I think it just shows you
that's
that
beautiful.
our cousins, distant cousins, rather than thinking of them as a separate lineage. They're all our separate cousins. But then I like to think that even the animals, the elephants, I think of them as they have this personhood to them. To go back to this animal, as I said earlier, it feels so human. I can't help but identify with that and feel like a family sort of vibe as well. It seems to be some mammals seem to have this instinct to return to a place of the dead, as though
there's
who knows
connection with a physical place. Yes, and I'd like to sort of say about humans and when people like the Neanderthals and Demonologians, that I believe we're all the same species pretty much. We're not different people. I think it's just down to science and academia and getting sponsorship and finance to do your research. That we want to label things as new things because that allows us to get the sponsorship to do research. Because academia, unfortunately, is very much driven by who has the money. Unlike we're very much like any business. Unfortunately, you can't just research what you want to unless you've got someone to pay for you to do it. So I think that's why we see these splits up of different types of hominid, where in fact I do believe we're all pretty much alike. In fact, we bred with each other. So
so it must we can't be that different, can we? Absolutely. Going back to that, people are mentioning the Denisovians. I'm interested in this side of the tree here as well. So we're in the blue color is Oceania, so that's going to include things like Papua New Guinea, Australia, Melanesia, Micronesia, and you've got some tribes around here. They've got Denisovian DNA in them, haven't they? So you've got dark-skinned African sort of ethnicity, but with blonde curly hair. And I don't know if they're specifically linked to the Denisovians, but I seem to remember that it was in their DNA. So it's again, you can use this tree as a tool for history as well to sort of try and find links and say, well, where could that have happened and which people could have carried that over? So hopefully the tree will be quite useful to people who are interested in history as well as religion. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
But I mean, it should correlate with human dispersals. Otherwise, you've got some significant errors. And I think you've already shown through migration, certainly across North America, and what's going on in South America, that you seem to align with basically standard thinking on that.
Yeah. I originally called this tree the evolutionary tree of religion because I noticed it evolves. I just noticed how this evolution is built into the whole process from animism to polytheism to monotheism and so on. And as I was making it, it was evolving. So when I was hands-on developing it, there's so much knowledge. There was so many things I wanted to represent. So I didn't, first of all, the old trees had just white symbols. Everything was just a white circle with a black symbol in it. Now, if I go down to the key at the bottom, there's so many different symbols to help you navigate the tree now. So if it's a white symbol, and it's got a white circle with a black symbol in it, it's a foundational belief system that includes divine worship or philosophical teachings, but it's usually the original one. And then a colored circle with a light color then represents a denomination or a continuation of that religion. So for instance, over here with the Aboriginal Australians, I've put the oldest known culture that settled the land is the Anangu people, which we've pinned to around about 65,000 years ago. So I've put that, again, a bit of creative choice there, so I might get a bit of pushback on this, but I colored it white to say, well, this is possibly the first time dreaming was there. And if that's the case, then all the other religions, and it was Northern Territory, which is where it seems like it settled and spread out from. So all the colors then in Australia after that are not necessarily denominations, but they're a continuation of it. So I've colored them, but that allows you to see the prime religion. So if I give another example of a prime religion that feeds out, it would be, let's go over here. Vishnuism. So Vishnuism was one of the first religions where they put Vishnu forefront of the tradition, and they made everything about worshipping in Vishnu. And then after that, there's loads of different denominations. The Bhakti movement is heavily based in Vishnuism. The Sri Lankshmi, again, I can't pronounce a lot of these.
I don't know how
Vishnuism.
long this took.
Interesting, again, so many interesting stories in this tree, John. There's a famous mathematician, I can't remember his name right now, and he was of that tradition there. This tradition
with stuff like this, it's like this guy was called to do this. This is a like life's work sort of thing. And it's like, you know, I think about the same way, like with me with like the socialist stuff, or like with Adam Green with what he's doing. I'm trying to like analyze, you know, Christianity coming out of like Judaism and all this stuff. It's like this is not a simple thing. This is like a years long affair that you have to be like, this has to be like you. That's why I always laugh when people call me a grifter, because I'm like, do you understand the living hell that I have had to put myself through to do what I do? And it's only because I genuinely cannot stop doing it that I'm even still on the internet.
Yeah, well, it's obsessive because there's always more, and there's always more details, and then
yeah,
like he put this together, probably started out like a list or like a little, you know, maybe he started doing categories, and then finding out that this is linked to that, which is linked to that, which is linked to this over here, which is linked to this also. And then he color coordinated it. I mean,
this is like even the color coordination of all this stuff, and even just like how thoughtfully he's laid it all out, and all the you know, even the dotted line things, and some things are more. It's just like the whole thing is just so thoughtful. And I don't think, again, like if people have never done information design before, this is incredibly difficult.
Oh yeah.
And he believed that Lakshmi gave him divine insight to understand mathematics in a very intuitive way. And there's a film made about him. I'll have to put it in the link below because I can't remember. It's just in the back of my memory. But Ramanujan, there it is. So Ramanujan believed he was divining mathematics from a goddess. And there's a film about it, which is really worth watching, about this story. But his religion was from there. And he although he was religious, although he was a scientist, he believed his religious insights were what was driving his knowledge. And when he told the mathematicians of the time in Oxford or Cambridge, they were poo-pooing it, saying, no, it's just you.
Oh, I remember that. In fact, I think I watched that film after you recommended it to me.
Oh, very good, very good. You can't remember it, though.
No spoiler alerts, but he didn't have a long life, did he?
No, sadly, he did not. No, he got the disease. But yeah, right, so just there's many fascinating stories in the tree.
We have another question, which is Tengrism. What is it?
Tengrism. So if I go down to the lower parts of the tree, as I've said, I've sort of suggested that early shamanism began to emerge around about Siberia, 20,000 BC. I've said earlier, again, it's speculative with the diamond.
Do you want to explain what you mean by shamanism as well?
Shamanism, in the sense that we're looking at the drumming side of the culture, the belief that there is spirit healing, that they can leave their bodies and go into the spirit world. So there's now a more elaborate idea of what the afterlife is, because they believe they can actually transfer their souls into that world and communicate with other spirits. So it's a specific flavor of animism that seems to have evolved a bit. And they're also working with animals. So a lot of them are nomadic, and they're working with reindeers. So there's this early pastoral kind of influence going on as well. So you just see a change in the flavor. Again, I've used the diamond, which says this is speculative, just in case everybody's going, you can't prove that. But from Tengrism, what I'm saying is that seems to have moved into East Asia. And I've written down here Central Asian early shamanism. And I think that then influence of that then goes up the Central Asian branch. And we have further up here all these possibly shamanic cultures creating all these amazing. Look at all that stone art, John. Look at that. Have you seen that one before? The seven-headed giant. And there's some kind of shamanic figure with some kind of weird. Sorry?
Where's the seven-headed giant? Tell me it's the nearest.
The Okunov ritual art somewhere in central Siberia.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah, I can show you more on that later. So I'll be unpacking these in videos later on. So if anybody wants to know, my Faithscape series will be digging into every single religion and archaeological site on the tree. This is going to be an interesting one because this guy popped up a couple of years ago, and I was fascinated when I saw this. I was like, is this real? This 7-headed giant on stone art? But yeah, it's real. And there's so much interesting archaeological data there. In fact, I was wondering if it was related, if you go down the branch, to the Indo-Europeans with the ideas of giants and so on. So
it may be earning that because we see the 7-headed serpent in the Near East, which has been going on for a long time. In fact, those on my Patreon, I posted a link to a paper which was released this week where they found a seal on a ring, I think it was, with the 7-headed serpent on it that shows a real link between Uralic and Abrahamic religions. So
what is the 7 heads? What's going on there, John?
Why 7-headed? Because people like multiple-headed things. I mean, you have 2-headed gods at a time. You have, Trito and 3-headed monsters were a thing in the Indo-Europeans.
Janus, the god of time, who has the head in the front and the head in the back.
I think that's
oversimplification. Gods with that Marduk
What?
was all seeing with 4 faces.
What'd you just say?
That was a massive oversimplification.
Well, of course,
People
Jennifer,
refer to
something
that
has
as
to be oversimplified. I mean, this is like really. Can we cut the guy some slack?
He is a history master. Like, he really knows his shit. And I can't believe he came up with people just like many-headed things. What? No, I can't. I mean, it has to do with like first of all, what?
I'm just saying that your Capricorn standards are a bit high.
Oh, wait a minute. If we're gonna call ourselves an expert in something,
he's like, hold my beer. You're like, you thought they were high before. Hang on, I haven't even started yet.
I mean, it has to do with, first of all, the horrificness of the thing, but also when you have multiple heads, especially on a human figure, you're talking about different spheres of knowledge.Maybe the 7 truths, things like that. There's it's not just because we like 7-headed things. No, 7 has been a sacred number for a long time. So, but I mean, yeah, there's definitely got to be more to it than just that.
All right, fair enough. Fair criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So
you don't think it's linked to anything? Because I always get, I mean, I overread these things a lot, but I always think it's linked to a way of thinking. Like, is it linked to astrology with the stars in some shape or form, or how many gods they had in the pantheon or something?
Everything.
I'm more that it just seems amazing. You got to think of the most amazing thing you can think of, and a man with 7 heads. Well, that's got to be amazing. I think
there's more amazing things than that. I agree with you. This guy is like wrong. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's just started. I don't know.
We've got the 7-headed dragon in Hinduism.
I don't dislike him.
So we've got.
He's
I
wrong.
can't remember who it is. One of the 3 major gods sits on a snake, and that's also got 7 heads. So we're in that region. We are getting 7 as a sort of number that seems to appear. It's possible. And you mentioned the 7-headed dragon, 7 wonders in the sky: sun, moon, Mercury.
Oh, there you go. Somebody knows their shit.
I think I might be with Steve. Who wrote that down? I missed
Come on, history buff. Let's do this.
Esmel. I might be with Esmel on that one.
Chat wins again.
I mean, it's one of these things where it feels like it should be linked, but science says you've got to prove.
Also, if I may.
Yes, it does. It does. Do you know?
One of the things about like 2-headed creatures, or specifically humans with 2 heads, this is a literal example or literal display of a person of 2 minds, like a Pisces or a Gemini. Mm-hmm. You're this and then you're that, and it's like you're almost 2 different people, but you're on the same body. It is a literal representation of that.
I love one of the things I love about mythology is it pushes so far past or so deep into archaeology that you start having to use your imagination to fill the gaps in, and it's a dangerous area, isn't it? Because I'm very creative, and I can easily. I try not to do a Graham Hancock on you, but you start trying to form.
I'm gonna make a fucking t-shirt for the merch store that just has a fish on it with an X over it.
Oh
no Pisces ever.
The little circle with the slash.
Yep. Fish.
patterns going, could it mean this? Could it mean that?
Well, yeah, Hancock edits in a very particular way to do that. But yeah, I mean, what you have to do is get yourself into a mindset of what was it like back then, because our lives today just are nothing like the lives of a hunter-gatherer. Our days are different. What we value are different. The sounds we experience are different.
Yeah,
everything's so different. So yeah, and I love that. I love when we see glimpses of how they thought and trying to work out why they thought like that. That's amazing. I was looking at, it was nice weather in England yesterday. We were at a barbecue and I was gazing up at the sky, as you do, and there were wisps of clouds passing by, and I was thinking, oh, that looks a bit like a dragon's wing or a dragon's and it floats through the sky with the wind. They're not static, they're moving, and they're thinking, how did people think of that? Are they just remnants of a battle long ago? Would they tell stories of them? I don't know, but I just love that kind of thing.
But what I love is that I'm almost certain there's a story to that seven-headed giant, a story that we don't necessarily know about anymore, but that there's a narrative, and trying to unpick it by looking at surrounding
we have to amend
regions and looking in their myths and looking in their stories, folk tales.
Hang on, go ahead.
We're sorry, John. I've been enjoying your comments, and no, we're not picking on you. Both of us have been quite jaded by Pisces.
We don't like Pisces.
We're having a really hard time.
Men in particular.
Oh, yeah. It's like I can be friends with any zodiac sign, but when it comes to intimate contact professionally or very close friends or like boyfriends or love interests, it has been very dirty and nasty. And so, like, not you, babe. I'm sure you're fine. But you'll be like the nice. You're absolved. You're the absolved Pisces.
It's not just about your sun sign. When you understand your chart, it's not just about your sun sign. You can also have a moon sign and a rising sign. And some people, actually, my number one Pisces that is actually like on the whole more annoying to me is not even a Pisces. He's a Virgo with a Pisces moon and a Pisces rising. So he acts Pisces, but he's actually a Virgo. And so it gets tricky sometimes. You just don't know.
Yeah, sometimes people actually resemble their moon sign more than they do their sun sign. It just depends on their personality. But yeah, well, and the thing with Gemini is you guys do have two different sides of yourselves that are very, very distinct. But I did love what I think it was Chad that said, it's just a little friendly fire. And I think, yeah, that's all.
Yeah, as we all know, Aries is the only perfect zodiac sign.
I always let you think that.
Everyone else has flaws. Aries are absolutely perfect in every possible way.
Yeah, okay.
So on, just trying to find anything. And I don't know, I suspect there's a story there and it's linked to something. That would be my gut instinct. But yes, that's all we can work with at this level, isn't it? It's gut instinct and imagination.
Yeah. Well, all we can work with, because we can look at patterns and things. But yes, it is you need to have a bit of that to try and find potential answers to some of our problems.
We didn't quite answer the question. Somebody was saying about Tengriism. So I just wanted to say, if you follow the Central Asian branch up, there it is, Tengriism, polytheistic, first millennium BC. Polytheistic because, as you can see, the green line there is passing through. And it seems to me that Tengriism has lots of Indo-European influences because they've got the Sky Father, the Earth Mother, and they've got a sort of trickster character in there. So you see a lot of those, well, although that is far more ancient than the Indo-Europeans, but there seems to be flavors of Indo-European in Tengriism, but it is shamanic as well. I can only write down one core religion at a time, so I couldn't fit any more information on than that. I would have liked to have said polytheistic and shamanistic, but it was too difficult to get it in. So, but I think first and foremost, I would say it was polytheistic, and I placed it at the first millennium BC. Sorry, that was very long-winded to get there, considering we went around the mulberry bush to get there, but there we are.
Yeah, no, but that's good. I think people appreciate that. So are there any other questions you see in there, or anything else you want to tell people about
just that this is going to take me years to unpack, isn't it? I'm going to be doing short videos on it. But
we've got lots of questions about, can they get hold of it? Where is it going to be in shops? Is it going to be online? Is the data available? So hands for the tree.
John and I are working on a website which is under construction. The shop will be opened later this week. I've got you can't see it right now, but I've got my a bed over there, and underneath it is packed full of cardboard boxes ready to put all the posters in. And it's all in the UK. So anybody who's interested in buying it, they'll be buying it from the UK. We'll have a shop up. It's either be through Shopify or it's going to be through PayPal. And once they purchase the poster, I've got a lovely process where I'm going to cover it in black sugar paper. I'm going to use a wax stamp and stamp it with a nice symbol.
Oh, that's
and put
cool.
some gold tape on it. So it's all going to be
I don't know what
beautifully
sugar paper
put
is.
together. And then I'll ship it and send it out wherever, Canada,
Like tissue
Australia,
paper?
New Zealand.
Okay.
However, obviously, I've got a lot of people who want this in French and Spanish and German. So that will be coming out later for those who are interested in seeing it in another language. So for now, it's in English, but there will be other versions coming out of this tree. There'll be a simpler version coming out possibly next year, but I'm going to do simpler, smaller versions.
So cool.
Mugs, T-shirts,
really
you name
is.
it. Just because a lot of people are interested, and I want to get it out there as much as I can. But at the moment, it's an A0 poster or an A1 poster. Behind me is the A0, which is huge. You can see how big it is. If I move back, right up against
crazy.
It's
the whole wall. Look at that.
Look at the size of that.
You need it to be
A0,
big though.
And the A1 is still legible. So one of my patrons asked me a question. He had an older poster and it wasn't very sharp. John, I missed that question. Did you get it for me?
I'll put it up in a second.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I forgot what I was saying now. I got distracted by that.
Yeah, A0 posters and A1 and
the A1 is still legible. It's perfect. It looks, when you compress an image this big down, it starts to get very busy. I mean, it's a very busy looking tree, but I would never go any smaller than an A1. So A1 and A0, I'm afraid, is the only way I'll be able to sell it. But I will release a version online for everybody to look at in the coming weeks. I'm going to put a watermark on it. I'm going to take out some of the information, but people can just look at it at their own leisure and they can study it. Okay. I've heard historians think Greek and Babylonian 7-day week is from 7 planet-like objects, but Hebrews had a different origin of 7-day week in 700 to 1200 BCE. Thoughts? Over to you, John.
Well, I'm not familiar with the Hebrew thoughts, and I know different cultures had different ideas of how long a week was, and some didn't even have the idea of a week for many years. So not until the last sort of couple of thousand years. So I'm not sure on that. But what I'll do, Esmil, is I will try and find an answer to that and put it up on my Patreon for you, because that's an interesting question. There's been a few interesting questions here, which I think I will answer on Patreon. But that is, that's interesting. I don't know, to be honest, but I will find out.
Do you know, one of the things I've got the impression of doing my work on mythology and ancient history is that we did seem to be fascinated by the stars. Like it was almost like a movie back in the day. That was sitting.
Go ahead.
What if a week had 10 days in it? Like it's almost arbitrary. I do think that the length of the week it began with how long the cycle of the moon was, and then they kind of broke it up into quadrants, and so that became a month, became a week. But I mean, can you imagine if you really just went, week has 10 days now?
Well, I mean, that would screw up everything else, though, because like it would screw up like how many days are in a month, or it would screw up because like I mean, these things correspond to other things. What is it, roughly about like 2 weeks for like a moon cycle or something like that?
For half a cycle, a full cycle is 28 days.
Well, so then you have the month is the full moon cycle. You have the year is the full sun cycle. You've got the astrological signs that are aligning with things, and so
it's just amazing that. Well, I mean, it's
Jennifer, are you making the argument that time isn't real?
I saw you bought.
Are you making the argument? Are you making the? I didn't even see that, but that bot great minds think alike. Are you making the argument that time is not real and we can just arbitrarily change time because time is not real because it's a social construct because it's not real?
No. So basically,
it sounds like you are though.
No, but what I'm arguing for is the arbitrary designation of time. Not that it isn't real, but if you're going to plan around it, if you're going to designate your days of the week, it must be real, or you wouldn't have to fucking tell anybody how many days are in a week or weeks in a month.
Time isn't real. Confirmed by Jennifer. Thank you.
I did not say it wasn't real. Oh,
yep,
don't you put words in. Oh, don't.
That's gonna be the next T-shirt, Jennifer. It's gonna be "Time isn't real." Quote Jennifer.
I know. Oh no. I will roast you.
Just wait till we have the first retreat at your compound that you're gonna go by. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up wearing a T-shirt that says "Time isn't real." Quote Jennifer.
Speaking of,
July 22nd, 2025.
okay,
Online.
I'm gonna play this video back and all the times where I said I am arguing for how it's real and how we measure it. Not that it isn't real, although I don't think it's real once we're out in the stratosphere. But here, it's real.
Okay.
Anyway,
But we can just arbitrarily change how many days there are in a week.
you
it's
could
not
if
real,
you
'cause it's
wanted
not
to.
real,
I mean,
'cause it's
imagine
not real.
that. That's just the measurement. You can change the measurements if you want to, not based on anything astrological. But just imagine if you did that. It's like, because they did have different calendars. And it's like they decided the whole counting of years started when a Christian myth, possibly a real person, I think he was real, but anyway, not going into that, but was born. All of a sudden it's like, oh, we're going to say year 1 because this is when Jesus was born or died or whatever. And it's like,
yeah,
it's arbitrary. It's just numbers.
Jesus
still passes though.
Also a Pisces. Also a Pisces.
True.
Just
true.
saying, not a Capricorn, a Pisces.
That's fine.
I'm not saying
that,
that's not a dig on Capricorns this time. I'm actually not making that. I'm just saying that anyone who thinks that Jesus was actually born on Christmas is a retard.
Right. Exactly. No, I get it. I'm advanced enough. I get it. But I remind me when we're done. I may have to write myself a note. You may have to decide something for me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I get to make a decision
about our move.
I think this is a great idea. You should refer to me for all decisions.
something that I may sell, but I'm not sure if I'm going to, because I had a vision, and you might need to like either bring me down or encourage it. We'll see what, but we'll do that after. I think this is almost over.
It's got a little bit more, but I feel like their chat is almost over though, and they might just go into super chats after this, so we could actually just jump into your thing if you wanted. I feel like we're good.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they covered everything.
Yeah, I feel like we're good. That was a good video though with the map. I appreciate that.
That's so cool. And I still have it. I have it saved on my stuff now, so I can look at. I can refer back. But so I did find another property that I am in love with. It is out of our price range, but I am in love with it, and I don't care. I think it might be mine. We'll see. But I'm letting it be there. It's been for sale for off and on for a year. And they keep adjusting the price, and it's still not to the sweet spot, I'm guessing, for the market. And but it has 10 acres.
Wow.
I would say the majority, 60-40 is mowed, 40 with forest. So 60% mowed, 40% forest. And the house is amazing. There's plenty of room for my folks to build so we can cohabit, which is the goal. And so here's the thing, I'm really hope. I don't know what is going to happen, but I'm really hoping we can have like Karlyn Palooza or something.
Yes,
and
we're going to have the annual retreat at Jennifer's house.
Absolutely.
When she finds it.
Yeah. Once I find it, it's in the back of my mind. So I'm really hoping that's part of the manifestation. So back in the day when I was a fledgling rock star, I got these big speakers, huge, the ones on the stacks that I
know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I have those still. I have been keeping them because they were our rehearsal speakers. We used them when we played out at festivals or at parks and stuff. So I'm thinking, my mom's like, do you want to sell those? Because they're in her attic. So she's like, because they're doing a garage sale. Do you want to sell them? And I'm like, yeah. And then I had this vision of you on the back deck speaking to the masses.
No, you have to keep those speakers, Jennifer. You have to keep them. You have to keep them. You have to keep them. That's sentimental value. Like if we're gonna have like a convention in your backyard, I'm gonna need a microphone and some speakers.
I have microphones. I've got a, what do you call them? You plug the guitars
and the people from many states around to hear the counter-revolutionary leader.
Yeah, so I was like, I saw that and I went, oh no, I can't get rid of them now because we're gonna need speakers. We're gonna need I'm like, here I'm thinking about buying, like keeping or selling some objects that I may or may not use for a house that I may or may not buy. But I saw that, I went, no, now I gotta keep these fucking things.
This is our Woodstock. You can't let us down.
Yes, John.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I love it. So,
well, that was fun. Well, we finished the religion map, and I thought that was actually a really interesting episode, and it leaves I'm just so motivated by like that guy's attention to detail and how thoughtfully he put together that information, like even more than the information itself, which is really interesting in and of itself. It's just like how like organizing that type of information and having like that commitment to something. I just think it's like really cool.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
And it's motivating to me because I want to do the same thing with the left.
Well, start with a list and just let it build, and then you'll have notebooks. And oh, that reminded me, I was thinking like the other thing we could do is karaoke.
I don't do karaoke. I watch other people do karaoke, and
You can watch.
I may sing. I don't do karaoke though. I like it is a rule. It is a rule. Hey, Jennifer, you want to see this website that I built? Check this out.
Yeah,
This is related to the mapping of the left.
Ooh,
This is my Center for Left-Wing Studies website.
look at your little
Is
big eye,
online.
all-seeing eye flame torchlight. That is such a great composite.
Isn't that cool?
Oh my god. The flame of knowledge and the
it
all-seeing eye.
It looks so badass on black too.
That's awesome.
It looks so good. And look, someone has already given me a donation.
Oh, fantastic.
I have the donation form is working. I already have a donation. I wasn't even asking for donations, but people gave me a donation.
Oh,
and so
nice.
this is my logo for the mapping the modern left thing. This thing is like cool, and I don't know.
Wow, the anarchy inside the all-seeing eye.
Yep. And people can give this tax deductible donations. This is my
All donations
nonprofit.
are, yeah.
Well, no, like so yeah. So this is the nonprofit, but so my normal work obviously is not tax deductible. That's like a business, but this is like an actual legit nonprofit. I have a sponsor and everything, and people can give me money and they can write it off on their taxes, and that's just and it can fund the research and the mapping of the modern left. And
That is
eventually, I'm gonna be able to
awesome.
hire people to
That's
help me
amazing.
research.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's why you're a nonprofit, so you can bring money in and pay people to contribute to the cause without paying the taxis.
Yeah. And so the first hire is going to be Reagan. I've already decided.
Absolutely.
Reagan doesn't have a choice in the matter. She is the first hire for the Center for Left-Wing Studies. She is going to be like the chief organizational officer or whatever. I'm not even joking about that, but
I think that's a good move. Congratulations, Reagan. You're hired.
Yeah. She didn't even have to apply. She's hired anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. What do you think about doing megalithic sites and cultures next week?
I don't really know. What does megalithic mean?
It means big stone. So like Stonehenge.
Like the big stone. Yeah, we could do that.
All those kinds of things. There was Karnak. Well, Göbekli Tepe is like one of my favorites. There's another place in Peru that I want to look at and like maybe do like little videos about the different sites and how they
I wonder if I was at the one in Peru. Because I went around and visited a bunch of them when I was there, and one of the coolest things I saw was like, how do I describe this? It was a cave where there was an ancient slab where women would give birth on the slab.
Wow!
It was like one of those, and you got to go inside it, and the energy was like the creepiest thing in the world. But it was also cool, but it was just very intense, you know?
Yeah, I bet that was overwhelming. Well, probably also because a lot of women probably died giving birth in there, and so there's a lot of life death energy. The veil is very thin, I would imagine.
Peru is so cool. People need to go to Peru if they never have. It's just a very cool environment. Anyway,
yeah, it's a bucket list thing for me for sure. The other thing is I have one more. So I did a little reading for you.
Oh, you did? Yep.
Yeah. So and I always have a price.
Okay, what's the price?
So, here's the price.
What's the price? Uh-oh.
I'm sharing my screen.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hang on. Remove this. Add this. It's your book.
It is out for pre-order.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
My other books are here. Scrolling. We're scrolling. This is, so Seed Bearer is out for pre-order. It is going to be released in 3 days.
Put the link in the chat. This is the book that was inspired by the show.
The Anunnaki stuff, yeah.
Do you guys remember when I told Jennifer she had to write an erotic fiction called The House of the Golden Bed? And Jennifer threw away my amazing title, and she decided to call it something else. It's called The Seed Bearer, and it's about an Anunnaki human relationship where the Anunnaki is.
It's not an honor. He's not an Anunnaki, but it is inspired by. I had to give it to you because it won't let me comment.
I got it. Okay, so buy Jennifer's book.
Yep, it's out for pre-order, and if anybody wants to read it for free, I am doing ARC reviews, which means you have to leave a review if you read it. That is the agreement, and you've got 3 more days for that. And then So my real price though is, I don't know if you can, is for you to read my blurb.
Right now? You want me to read it right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let me put it up on my screen because then I'll be able to see it because I cannot see it on your screen because
Want me to close
I'm
my...
blind. No, it's fine. Leave it up so people can see.
Okay.
I can just get it really big on my screen. Okay, you want me to read the whole thing? Okay.
Wow,
Okay.
all I see is the cover in the center. That's interesting.
Is your mouse over the cover?
No, I'm actually looking at the StreamYard thing. It's probably because I'm not looking at...
Is that mine? Or is that yours?
There we go. Now can you guys
yours.
see the... Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
We got it. It's all good.
The Seed Bearer. Never underestimate an Earth woman. No one suspected the deep rebellion in Sophia's heart. Not even Sophia knew how far she'd go for justice. Being selected as a treasured seed bearer for a prince on Tanner is a great honor. She is horrified, but the truth of the situation is revealed. She plots her escape and reaches out to the one man who can help her, the only man she trusts. Derek inspects the seed bearers for many royal and high houses on Tanner. His instant desire for Sophia is driving him to shirk his duty and question his loyalties. He refuses to sentence her to an abusive future with an arrogant prince. The conditions for earthen women on Tanner have been a dirty secret for a generation. Sophia and Derek plan a rebellion, even if doing so reveals their relationship and costs them their lives. Pre-release readers call it The Handmaid's Tale in Space. The Seed Bearer is a futuristic sci-fi romance with a quick-paced plot and toe-curling open-door love scenes. JLD's usual humor and sharp writing is on full display. A solid HEA will have you cheering in the end. A sequel is on the way. Read now and join Team Burn It Down. Alien Lover.
These are tropes.
Exotic Eggplant. Off-Earth Adventure. Love at First Sight. He Falls First. Heist-style escape plan. Trigger warnings.
My first book with trigger warnings.
Unwanted pregnancy, human trafficking, mild essay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have trigger warnings in your book.
It's my first one. You know what? I probably should have had them in others, and I just was like, what is the thing with trigger? Why are we doing trigger warnings? Are we this sensitive? Just read the book. But I guess people get very very verklempt about things now.
So that is The Seed Bearer by our very own Jennifer JLD, inspired by DISENRAGE, Anunnaki episodes, and me suggesting The House of the Golden Bed. And now Jennifer is going to write a follow-up with Algoth as the romantic lead, the demon lover.
That would have to go in my otherworldly. It would have to go in my otherworldly creatures series, the one with the other alien and the my vampire werewolves, all those guys. That's my supernatural series. They're novellas.
I think you should definitely do that. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Can I call my main character Karlyn? Gothic Karlyn, get it?
Well,
on?
only if you also create a character called Michael who is afflicted with unrequited love. How about that?
Love triangle.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. This is actually perfect. And don't change a fucking thing. This is perfect. This is a love triangle between the. Oh,
I know. Okay, so Michael
you're the author.
Summons the demon.
Yep.
Because he's so obsessed with Karlyn that he has to summon a demon. Oh my God, John should write this fan fiction, not me. But he summons the demon, and the demon falls in love with Karlyn instead. And then Michael realizes the folly of his ways, and now he has to try and get her back, but it's too late.
I think this is an amazing idea, and this absolutely needs to happen, and you need to get to work on that. And John Morgan also needs to get to work on that, and it's going to be great. Nothing could go wrong with this plan. It's going to work out perfectly, and it's definitely not going to blow back on me at all.
No, totally fine. Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah.
The thing that will bring you together is he's going to beg me to unpublish that book. I will be friends. I'll be nice. I'm sorry. Please take it down.
You know what? He's forced us to do this, Jennifer. He's the one that summoned a demon. He made himself sick. He went to the hospital. He has forced us into this position. It's not our fault. It's his fault, and we have no choice in the matter.
My hands are tied at this point.
Yeah, it's you know, we have responsibilities here. We're ethically honest individuals. I'm just all right.
Fiction. Everybody relax.
I'm totally not joking, by the way. Anyway,
I know. That's so frightening.
like everyone's pretty clear. We're like, we know, Karlyn, you're not. Like, I'm absolutely like, yeah.
Yeah, laughter is sort of a self-defense mechanism for me. So if I giggle uncomfortably, that would be why.
Yep. Anyway, Jennifer, do you have any other announcements?
Last thing, yes, movie night.
Yeah, movie night.
So we are continuing and finishing off our runoff poll for Patriotic July. This week I'll be posting as soon as we're done here tonight, as a matter of fact, The Postman, Platoon, and Saving Private Ryan. So I'll put those in the Discord, in the community Discord under movie night message board. So please go there and vote. Your vote counts.
Sweet. Cool. So we'll look
wait.
forward to-
Then I have sorry. I almost forgot Mac.
Can't forget Mac B.
Can't forget Mac B. Let's see. He did Goldfinger last night, so he's doing Diamonds Are Forever this Monday.
Cool. Another James Bond movie. So
Yeah.
you can join Jennifer for movie nights on Sunday nights in the supporter Discord. And then we got Mac B doing James Bond January on Monday nights. And we seem to be having a steady flow of organizing meetings on Monday nights too, leading up to a movie night. So that is actually working out quite well.
Yeah.
Mac B had a great audience last night, I saw, for his movie night. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I got wrangled into joining. I was doing other things, and then he was like, "I'm having a problem with YouTube," and I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I got in there, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit here. This feels good." I was working on cleaning out my trailer because we're selling our camper, so it was nice to sit. So I sat, and it was fun to watch. And he does a great job, as always.
He does do a great job. You guys both do great jobs. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to go listen to anti-Abrahamic Twitter spaces now and think about how I'm going to map out the modern leftist activist network all over the United States by myself with, help of volunteers. Well, I shouldn't say by myself. We're all doing this together. We're a community. We work together. We suffer together. We do things together. Yeah. So I'm going to go think about that and possibly cry. And thank you, Jennifer. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Karlyn. See you later.
Bye. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye.